Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Radio K broadcast of the Minnesota Golden Gopher football game versus the Illinois Fighting Illini. I'm Elias Thomas here with Jack Bartlett, and we're coming to you from beautiful Huntington Bank Stadium. It is sunny and 55 here on this November day. Definitely some warm weather for November, but we will take it. Minnesota's coming in this game 6-2, 4-1 versus the Big Ten, and they're currently sitting atop the Big Ten West. Illinois is 3-6, 2-4 against the Big Ten. Their last meeting, the Gophers won 41-14. Yes, and Gophers lead the all-time series 40-30-3. Jack, let's talk about what the Illinois Fighting Illini have done the last couple weeks.
Yes, thank you, Elias. So the Fighting Illini the last couple weeks, they had that huge win in 9 overtimes against Penn State. Chase Brown had 223 rushing yards, the second time in 3 games that he's rushed for over 200 yards. He leads the league in yards after contact, and he also had 134 yards in the first half. And so look for a great matchup between the Gophers' solid run defense against him and his great O-line, which I'm going to talk about later. And they also rank 10th in the nation in run blocking grade, according to PFF. And on defense, Kirby Joseph, as a defensive back, has had a great season for the Illini. He's the only player in the nation with 3 or more interceptions and 3 or more fumble recoveries. So that will definitely be a point of worry, or a point where Tanner Morgan is probably looking to go away from in terms of when he's throwing the ball. So definitely look for that coverage to be pretty solid on his side. In terms of other Illinois strengths, they've been very strong on special teams, led by an all-returning specialist unit nicknamed the Lads. They are 8th in the nation in net punting, with Blake Hayes from Australia owning just about every single record that matters in Illinois' punting record book. Kicker James McCourt became the first kicker to hit 2 50-plus yard field goals in the same game in Illinois history. He hasn't missed an extra point all year and has only missed 1 field goal inside 50 yards. So he's been very, very consistent for Illinois this year. So another key for the Gophers is to be clean on special teams, especially on the punt returns. Annexstad has muffed a couple punts this year, so we definitely a point of contention to look for in this game. Other than that, the key Illinois stats, they're really struggling in passing offense. They're last in the Big Ten in completion percentage, 13th in passing offense, and 12th in yards per completion. So their offense is pretty similar to the Gophers with the heavy reliance on the run. Other than that, they're 9th in the nation and 2nd in the Big Ten in penalties per game, so they do not give up free yardage. So look for the Gophers to not be getting any free passes or getting consistent free passes on offense and in defense. They lead the Big Ten in fumbles recovered with 8, and they're 13th in total offense. So look for the Gopher defense to have a solid day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now you mentioned it earlier, the Gopher run defense. They're currently 8th in the nation and 2nd in the Big Ten, allowing only 92.9 yards per game. So they are a solid defense there. However, as you talked about, Chase Brown is a really great, talented running back. So they're going to have their work cut out for him today to try and slow him down. They haven't really faced a ton of great running backs. So let's see if, today facing a solid running back, if they can, actually continue to be a great rushing defense. On the other side of it, the Gopher rush offense is really hot right now. Marquise Irving and Kai Thomas have had back-to-back 100-yard games, both of them. Unfortunately, we lost another running back in Bryce Williams, but clearly we have a ton of depth at that position. Last week, against Maryland, Kai Thomas had 139 yards, which was huge. And last week versus Northwestern, Bucko Irving had 110 yards and 2 touchdowns and was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week. So if that run game can continue to carry the offense, that's going to be really great. Also, obviously, Tanner Morgan needs to continue to be a great leader and be a good play caller and, really help that offense move down the field.
Exactly, and I really liked the incorporation of converted linebacker Derek LeCaptain last game against Northwestern. He had a couple solid carries and a touchdown actually. So I think we should look for him in more goal-to-go sequences, especially because he's a bigger running back. Let me just check his stats quickly. He is 6'2", 235, redshirt sophomore from Gardner, Wisconsin. So he's the biggest running back by a long shot, and even though he may not be as fast, he could easily be used in that I formation on the goal line, 4th and 1s, 3rd and 1s. I could totally see the Gophers utilizing him in that way today, and I'd like to see that some more. I mean, who knows what could happen today. If another running back goes down, I think the Gophers are going to be in real trouble. So it's just going to be the same mentality that's come throughout the rest of the year, is that it's the next man up. And let Irving and Kai Thomas lead the offense, and hopefully they can carry the workload.
Yeah, and while we're on the topic of rushing, Tanner Morgan had a nice long rushing touchdown last week, which was pretty exciting to see him run the ball. I'm sure he was pretty excited too. But with that, we got the Pride of Minnesota out in the field playing for the crowd. Student section is filling up, and we're about to get going pretty soon here. We're looking forward to a good game. Let's see if Minnesota can continue their win streak that they got going and stay atop the Big Ten West. With that, Jack Bartlett and Elias Thomas signing off, and we'll send it over to the game shortly.
to my mind, taking a few of the sights. It's been too long since the stars saw these eyes. Some without purpose, some without care. Focus on the intent, focus on the air. You ain't no breathing machine, you fool. No, your knees are prepared to send. You'll find a tune, breathing machine. You'll find a tune, breathing machine.
Hello everyone and welcome here to Huntington Bank Stadium. We have the Minnesota Golden Gophers going up against the Fighting Illini from the University of Illinois. And we have a big game planned here as I'm joined with Trask Angel for the start of this game. Trask, how are you doing?
I'm great, Connor. I am happy to be here. We got a beautiful November day, and we are ready to go here on the field as the Gophers will be receiving the kickoff to start the game. The Illini booted away towards the Minnesota student section, and it's out the back of the end zone, and just like that, Minnesota will have the ball on their own 25. Connor, the stands are relatively full, not as full as we've seen this season. We got fans lined up at the gate, though, and Minnesota on a bit of a winning streak. What do they have to do here today to keep that thing going?
I think it's going to rely solely on the offense here. Illinois' defense has actually been pretty good. They've allowed 20 points last game and 18 points the game before, so I think it's going to be really important for this team to start off hot on offense, kind of set that tone, set the agenda here, and then let their defense go to work.
Morgan in shotgun. He's got two receivers right, one left. He's going to fake the handoff, throw to his right. It's caught, and it's a first down for Minnesota. They start fast and in a hurry. Caught by number 9 of the Golden Gophers, Daniel Jackson, and they're quickly to the line on the right hash.
Be good to see him get involved. He hasn't played too much to begin the year, but it'll be good to see him get a little bit involved here in the passing game.
Morgan in shotgun. He'll make an adjustment with 14 to snap. Running back to his left, two receivers left, one right. He'll look sideline. Illinois with 3 down linemen, 2 outside backers, a safety over the top. Morgan now with 5 to snap. He'll hand this ball off to the left side, finds a seam, running forward, keeps going, first down Minnesota. It was number 8, Kai Thomas on the carry. First down Minnesota, they're at the 50.
Good sign there, 2 plays, 2 first downs. Very nice job from the offense to start here as they look to continue this little bit of an impressive drive.
Morgan will take his time getting this team set. They're at the middle of the field near the logo, and 2 receivers to the left, 1 right. Kai Thomas stacked behind Morgan, about 6 yards behind the ball. 13:45 to play. Morgan spins to his left, hands off. Kai Thomas hit at the line, tries to cut back, and he's swarmed by the Fighting Illini. A gain of maybe 1 on the play, second and long for the Gophers.
That tackle looked to have been made by number 99, Owen Carney, who's been their leading sack getter this year with 5. So he's been pretty impressive so far to begin the year, and he's somebody you got to watch out for on defense.
Minnesota in shotgun once again, 13-15 and counting here in the first quarter in Minneapolis. A receiver wide left, 2 on the right. Morgan claps, looks, now he goes sideline, 8 to snap. Illini with 3 down linemen, 2 backers. Morgan looks to hand off. He'll pull it, run it himself, cuts it back. Maybe a gain of 1. Creeping towards that 50-yard line. The Gophers will be on the 49, though. 3rd down and 8.
We're possibly going to see Morgan try to pass here in a 3rd and long. But so far, Illinois, besides that 1 run from Kai Thomas, has been able to stop the run quite a bit here. So we'll see if that trend continues.
Morgan in shotgun. He will look to his right and to his left. He's got an empty backfield. 3 receivers on the left side of that Minnesota bench. They head towards that open end of Huntington Bank Stadium. Morgan in the sun. Half of his O-line in the shade. He'll look sideline. Looks to throw. Some pressure. Nice pocket. Lets it fly. It's tipped and intercepted. And immediately tackled. But it was intercepted by the Fighting Illini, number 44, Tarkey Barnes, the linebacker. And Minnesota will have to send out the defense.
Not a great way to start there as the offense kind of stalled once it got towards midfield. Notice that ball was deflected as well. So a little bit of an unfortunate play there, and now the defense is going to have a short field to work with.
So we'll send out the Minnesota defense, who has been pretty good the last couple of games, with 12:06 left to play in the first quarter, still 0-0 here in Minneapolis. Illinois will start under center. They'll have a running back about 10 yards behind the ball. They look to pass. Nice pocket. Double clutch, throws sideline, caught in front of the Gopher bench, and brought out of bounds by number 11, Carlos Sandy, for a gain of about 9. It'll be second and short for the Illini.
Something to look forward to in this game when the Gophers are on defense is they have the 8th ranked rushing defense in the country. So they've been really good against the run, but the Illini's offensive front is the 10th best at run blocking in the nation. So we'll see what kind of deal they'll have here.
And this ball snapped and dive up the middle. He's going to have a first down as the referees will wave the chains forward. And just like that, the Gophers have given up their first down defensively. And 11:28 counting here in Minneapolis as the Illini will huddle. They're going to be on the near hash towards the Gopher bench, heading into the Minnesota student section that reaches up into the second level. They'll motion a man across. Under center. They wait, now they snap. Looking to run off tackle, and they do. They're going to break it free across the 30, and it's another first down for Illinois.
Nice run there. Chase Brown, he's going to be one of those guys you have to look forward to on this offense. He's been really good. He racked up 223 yards against Penn State 2 weeks ago on the ground. So he's going to be a big part of this offense today.
Illinois once again huddled up. The Gopher defense looking for a stop. They've given up 2 first downs thus far. Peters under center once again. Stacked behind him about 8 yards deep is Brown. 2 receivers to the left, 1 right. They'll motion a man across to the right side. Peters hands to Brown. Brown will run to the left and get pushed out of bounds for a gain of about 4, maybe 5.
Looked like Sori Marin there on the tackle. He's going to be one of those key clogs in the defense as well today. So look for him to have his name called quite a bit.
2nd and 5 for Illinois from the Gopher 23. 10-15 and counting on a sunny day here in Minneapolis. The marching band loud and proud. 2 receivers right for Illinois, 1 left with a tight end stack to the left of Peters. Peters under center. Peters snaps. Peters hands off. Brown's to the right side, hit at the line and brought down. Still a gain of about 3 yards though, right on the 20. So it's going to be 3rd and 3 for Illinois.
Like to see if Minnesota will bring a little bit of pressure here. It looks like Illini are going to look to, look for the run game quite a bit, at least to start. Try to wear down this defense. Let's see if they can stand strong here.
3rd and short for Illinois. The Minnesota fans on their feet. 9:30 to play in the first quarter. 0-0 here in Minneapolis. 1 receiver right, 2 left. First time in shotgun for Peters. Peters claps. Here comes the ball. They'll hand to Brown. Brown hit at the line. Brown keeps churning. And it's going to be close. The referees stop the clock. And we're waiting for a spot. Minnesota's defense, and they'll make a few substitutions and they signal the first down. So they'll get the first down by a few inches, and it'll be a fresh set of downs for the Fighting Illini. Illinois breaks the huddle. Peters back under center. He's now got 2 backs, I formation. A receiver out wide either side. Minnesota brings 5. Looking to pass, throw to the flats, uncovered, 15, 10, 5. Hit it about the 3. He dives forward, but he's short. He stepped out, and it'll be a first down and goal for Illinois on the left hash. They're going to mark him down at the 2-yard line. Connor, it's 1st and goal from the 2.
That play definitely fooled me. I was watching the running back coming to the near side here, but they decided to run that fake, and they threw it to the opposite side with a wide open receiver.
Minnesota with a late substitution. Defense looking to stand strong here on the goal line. A receiver out wide to the right, everybody else on the line. Peters under center. Peters will kick and send his man in motion. It's jet sweep to the left. Jet sweep, and it's going to get them a touchdown. So with 8:15 left to play in the first quarter, Illinois will score first and take the lead. They're up 6-0, 7 pending the extra point.
Illinois likes using the run game quite a bit, and their wide receiver, Isaiah Williams, who is probably their best playmaker, took the handoff there, and that's something that they will do quite often in this game.
So after the score, they'll line up for the extra point. And Minnesota's defense ready to send him in to block. Kicking towards that student section. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Illinois leads the Minnesota Golden Gophers 7-0 here in Minneapolis as we'll get ready to take our first media timeout here in Minneapolis at Huntington Bank Stadium. But before we go to break, we'll hear from our sideline reporter, Elias Thomas. Elias, how you doing?
Good. I'm doing great. Thanks, Trask. On Wednesday, Coach PJ Fleck signed a new 7-year contract that will make him the coach through 2028 for the Golden Gophers. This ups his contract to $5.1 million a year, and he has some incentives too. $100,000 if he wins Big Ten West, which I'm sure he's thinking about as he sits atop the Big Ten West right now. He also gets $100,000 for an 8-win season and another $100,000 for a 9-win season, and he has the opportunity to do both those things. So I'm sure he's liking those incentives. He also does have a buyout opportunity that helps him a bit, gives him a bit more money. It regresses a bit less each year. So, you know, he might not be around all 7 years, but it would cost Minnesota a lot. But the fans love him here, so it's great for Minnesota. You know, people are happy to see Coach PJ Fleck stick around, and he's really done a great job of you know, upping Minnesota's reputation as a football team, football program, and so hopefully it'll help with recruiting and all that. And congrats to Coach PJ Fleck on his new contract.
Awesome, thank you very much, Elias. And definitely seems like PJ's got this team on the right track. But we will take a break here on Radio K Sports. Before we continue, a minute 30. Set your watches. We'll be back in just a moment.
All we could say was wow. What a display from the gods of nature.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Trask Angel alongside Connor Mockney, Jack Bartlett behind the scenes, and Elias Thomas as well. They'll be cycling in between the production crew and the sideline reporting for today's game. We want to thank them for all the beautiful graphics we see on the screen and the great sound quality. That's all those two. So if you're watching while listening, make sure to give a shout out to Jack and Elias. We're back at Huntington Bank Stadium. The Gophers are trailing 7-0 to the Fighting Illini. The Illini have just kicked off, and they have just put it through the back of the end zone. So once again, the Gophers start on their own 25. Connor, the last series, actually moving the ball pretty good, but quickly had a tip ball at the line, intercepted by an Illinois linebacker, and then they go down and score. Anything you want to see changed on this drive?
Not really. I think what they had done, you know, on that first drive, at least to start, was pretty good. They were moving the ball. They had, you know, a couple good runs, good passing plays. So I just want to see a little more consistency with that, and hopefully those tip balls don't come back to haunt us.
Morgan in shotgun. Once again, it's number 8, Kai Thomas, the running back to his left. Kai Thomas bounces it to the left side of the line. He'll be hit and brought down at about the 28-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and 7 for the Golden Gophers.
It'll be interesting to see the kind of mix that we have at the running back position. Looks like Kai Thomas has gotten the start so far today, but we see Irvin come in now to see what he can do.
Minnesota once again in shotgun. To his right is now Marquise Irving, number 4. 2 tight ends for Minnesota, 2 receivers to the right side in front of the Illinois bench. On the left hash, Morgan snaps, fakes the handoff, and we have a flag as Morgan drops back to pass. And Connor, I mean, I guess this is a false start, but I also think Gophers may be looking to take a shot downfield there.
I looked like they were. They had a guy streaking across the middle of the field, and he looked to be open.
So a false start is going to be called. It's going to be called against number 48, I believe, was the call. 47, excuse me, Wyatt Schroeder, the tight end.
Haven't called his name at all this year.
7:35. Was that number correct that they announced? 7:30 to play, 2nd and 12.
I think it was called on Axel Rushmeyer.
Okay. Me. So it's the call. False starts on Axel Rushmeyer. Minnesota will now be 2nd and 12. Morgan in shotgun, Irving to his right. He'll fake the handoff to Irving. Irving picks up a block. Morgan drops the ball. Morgan covers the ball. And it's another loss of yards for Minnesota as they're going to be back now to their own 18.
Not a good play there. He had some pressure coming around him, and he hadn't stepped up in the pocket. Worried a little bit, but, I mean, can't throw it if you don't have the ball in your hands.
Illinois will make a few substitutions as Minnesota sends Irving onto the field, pulling off number 8, Kai Thomas. Minnesota will set up with trips to the right side in front of the Illinois bench. They'll have a single receiver in Chris Ottman-Bell to the left. No tight end. Illinois packing the box. 1 safety over the top for the the orange and white. Hand off to Irving. Irving runs up the left side. Irving is tackled and brought down short of the line to gain. He'll get out to the 31, though, so he'll have, about 4 yards to go here, and the punting unit will come onto the field.
Not a bad call. I mean, he got a good chunk of yards there. You would like to see them maybe take a little bit of a shot, but, I mean, got to gain a little bit of yards to give Crawford some room to punt here.
6 minutes and counting. The Gophers trail the Fighting Illini by 7. The punt is away, and it's in the air. It's going to bounce at the 34 and keep rolling across the 20. The Gophers will escort it to the 14-yard line just above the numbers. And Illinois will start from their own 14 on the right hash with 5:44 left to play in the first.
That was a nice punt by Crawford, really flipping the field and now giving the defense a little bit more room to maneuver and work with here on this next upcoming drive.
And with that, we will take another timeout here at Huntington Bank Stadium before we go to our Radio K DJs. We'll hear once again from Elias Thomas.
Yeah, so this week it was announced that former Gopher player Devondre Campbell, a linebacker for the Packers, was named NFC Defensive Player of the Month. He had 45 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and an interception. We don't here in Minnesota, we don't like to see him in a Packers uniform, but it is pretty awesome that a Gopher is having such great success at the NFL level. And it made me think, who's the next Gopher to be a true NFL star? We've seen Winfield, perhaps Bateman, who's on the Ravens, might take a step up in the next few years. We'll see if, despite the injury, Mo maybe still will get drafted and could have a great NFL career. Or one of these young running backs in Kai Thomas and Bucko Irving. They look like they could be promising players. So I just want to ask you guys, what do you think about these future Gophers? And it's really nice to see these Gophers having success because, as I was saying with Coach PJ Fleck, it's really making this program really look really good, and it's getting more, having NFL players helps with getting recruits and getting good young players to come here and want to play for Minnesota.
Exactly, and I think it's what you said on your last, visit during the media timeout, that contract extension. I think you've developed the right culture here. You're starting to see a lot more guys getting into the NFL, or at least, getting looks from the NFL. And so I think, it all ties together. You're starting to see more and more guys who are performing at a higher level. And so I think PJ Fleck is a big part of that. So thank you for joining us on the media timeout, Elias, and we'll hear from him again soon. We only got about a minute left, so we'll take an opportunity to shout out the Sports Hour podcast because, the host of the Sports Hour podcast is standing to my left. Connor, what do you got for us about the podcast?
We got a lot of stuff coming up. You know, we've rotated through quite a few guests. We've had a lot of really good topics that we've been talking about. We're gonna have a nice podcast coming up this upcoming week. And as the season goes on, a new season start, we got basketball coming up, so we'll have plenty of talk about that. Hockey's getting into full swing. Volleyball's getting towards the end of their season. And so, we're going to have plenty of stuff to talk about, plenty of fun segments, and make sure you continue to tune in.
Yeah, 6 to 7 p.m. every Tuesday. If you can't listen live on Radio K airwaves at 770 AM or 100.7 FM, you can always check it out via Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, or RadioK.org. Or just go ahead and scan the QR code. That'll bring you right to the Spotify link. And you can listen to every single episode of the Sports Hour podcast since it was born back, I don't know, what is it, 4 years now?
Something like
4
that,
or
yeah.
5 years now? So with that, our media timeout has ended, and we want to thank everybody who is joining us now or has been listening. We know there's a lot of ways to listen, and we appreciate you listening to Radio K Sports. Illinois will be in shotgun, and they're going to snap and hand off, but we will have a whistle and a flag on the play. And it's going to be a false start against the Fighting Illini. We wait on who was the one to jump early.
That's going to push them back even further into their own territory. So now the Minnesota defense has even more space to work with here, even after that penalty. They got pushed back to their own 9-yard line.
Minnesota defense with a tough first drive, giving up a touchdown, which in a lot of times those scenarios we've seen them bend but not necessarily break. We'll see if they can respond here as they have the Fighting Illini at 1st and 15. The snap from under center will be handed off, brought through the tackle on the left side. He'll be wrapped up but pull forward, and it's going to be a gain of about 9, so it'll bring him back to the 19-yard line, 2nd and 6.
This run game for Illinois has looked pretty good so far, which is a little surprising because of how good Minnesota's run defense has been. But I don't think we'll be seeing Illinois shying away from that run game anytime soon.
Illinois breaks the huddle. Brandon Peters, the QB for Illinois, will be in shotgun. He'll move Brown to his right, 2 receivers out wide. He'll hand to Brown, and he'll pull it. He pulls the ball, and he had me fooled up here, and he had the Gopher defense just about fooled. Now there might be some contention for a loose ball. Referee has whistled the clock dead, and looks like Illinois got the ball back, but Brandon Peters pulls the ball in the backfield, runs to the right side, and then as he's hit, the ball may be coming out. But it looks like Illinois recovers, so it's going to be a first down for the Fighting Illini.
Definitely more confusion there. We all thought that was going to the running back, but Peters turned it into a nice big run there.
Peters under center. He'll have a tight end on either side and a receiver on either side. Brown will be behind him. He'll hand to Brown. Brown looking to break the edge, and he does. Brown across the 40, across the 45, brought down at the 49-yard line. It's another first down and another big play on the ground for the Illini.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a recurring theme here on the first 2 drives for the Illini offense. Like we said, this is a little bit of a shock.
Minnesota makes a few substitutions. It's Justice Harris, the DB, coming in. Illinois will now send 3 receivers to the right side. One of them is Brandon Peters, the QB. A little bit of wildcat. They'll hand to Brown. Brown up the middle. Brown will turn ahead for a gain of 5 once again, and it's going to be 2nd and 5 for Illinois.
A lot of chunk plays from the Illini so far, and they've yet to throw the ball on this drive, so everything has been on the run. And it's interesting to see that they went for the ground game as their attack.
Isaiah Williams in as the QB of that Wildcat formation. 3:30 to play. Illinois leads 7-0. And they'll go back to that formation. They'll send trips to the right side in front of the Gopher bench. Williams, the wide receiver, in at QB. He will have Brown to his left. He's going to fake the handoff to Brown, take it himself. He's hit at the line but keeps the legs moving, and he's going to have himself a first down as he reaches the 40-yard line.
Looks like Washington's had a couple pass opportunities, pass attempts this year. He's 0 for 2 in that department. but they've shown that they're not afraid to use him in that situation, and he is, I don't want to say a threat to pass, but that is an option for them, as he has done it a couple times this year.
Treadway and Carter, both D linemen for the Gophers, come off the field. 87, Daniel Barker, the tight end for Illinois, will come off the field. First down and 10 from the Gopher 41, as Illinois will break the huddle. Peters back under center. 2 running backs, 2 receivers to the right, 1 left. Peters hands to Brown. Brown off tackle. Brown another big gain. Brown tackled out of bounds at the 34 in front of the Illinois bench, and it's going to be 2nd and 4 for for Illinois.
Like we said, he's going to be the one that's going to be relied upon heavily in this offense coming into this game, and so far that's exactly what they have shown.
2:25 to play, 1st and 10 2nd and 3 for the Illini. They'll break the huddle, 10 to snap. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Peters under center. Brown behind. Peters snaps, hands to Brown. Brown right side. Brown tripped up but falls forward for another first down. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the Gopher 29-yard line in front of the Gopher sideline.
Brett Bielema has had his Illini ready to go, as a couple weeks ago they had that wild 9 overtime game at Penn State, so they're not afraid to play teams that are nationally ranked in their own building.
1:45 and counting. Minnesota trails Illinois 7-0 here at Huntington Bank Stadium. They're going to go back to the Wildcat. Trips left this time, tight end on the left. They'll hand to Brown. Brown off tackle. Brown gets hit, then sneaks free. And he'll break free for a gain of maybe 3 or 4. So it's going to be 2nd down and long for Illinois. And it's going to be Josh McCray who is on the run there. And McCray will stay in the game.
Illinois has held the time of possession quite a bit, and I think that was kind of something they were looking to do, because Minnesota obviously relies on holding the ball on offense for themselves. And so keeping our offense on the field is probably what they were looking to do.
Trips right for Illinois. Peters under center. McCray about 9 yards behind the line. He'll get the handoff, run left side. He's got lead blocking, but he's tackled almost immediately by number 47, Jack Gibbons, the linebacker. And it'll be a gain of, I don't know, let's say 2. So it's going to be 3rd and about 5 for the Fighting Illini. 30 seconds and counting. They're going to have to snap it at least once more, heading towards this Minnesota student section as the fans are on their feet here in Minneapolis.
I'd like to see a little bit of pressure here from the defense.
Illinois trips right, 1 receiver to the left. They'll send a man in, now motion him back out. Peters with Brown to his left. Peters shotgun. Peters to throw. Peters gets it away. It's caught and reined in. 1st down, Illinois. Catch was made by 87 of the Fighting Illini. That's the tight end, Daniel Barker. And he caught that right above the numbers in front of the Gopher sideline. So they're going to be on the right hash. 1st and 10 from the Gopher 15. But we have a quarter break here in Minneapolis, so we'll flip sides, and Illinois will finish their drive heading towards the open end of Huntington Bank Stadium. With that, we will take a break here on Radio K Sports, and we will hear from Elias Thomas, I believe, as he makes his way down the stairs. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and remind everybody to like and subscribe so you get notifications every time we go live here on Radio K Sports. We'll head to a media timeout shortly, but before that, Elias Thomas is here with us once again.
Yeah, thanks, Trask. The first college football playoff rankings came out last week, and Minnesota came in at number 20, which is very exciting to have Minnesota be ranked. Some other notable rankings: the powerhouses Georgia and Bama were 1 and 2, per usual, it seems. Big Ten team Michigan State University came in at number 3, and Oregon's at 4. Ohio State University's at 5, who we played a good game against in week 1. Michigan is at number 7. Wisconsin's 21. Ohio's 22. We play both those teams in the next coming weeks, so those are going to be some big games for us. I personally and a lot of fans around the country were shocked that number 6 Cincinnati, who's undefeated, wasn't ranked higher. Maybe a little bit of bias with those big teams, Georgia and Bama. Also, I hate to bring it up, but we got to wonder where we'd be ranked if we hadn't had that Bowling Green loss on our homecoming weekend. That was really a killer. And we would be 7-1 right now with a loss against the number 5 team. So, that's a bummer, but it's still awesome that the Golden Gophers are ranked number 20. It's pretty exciting.
Exciting for sure. Thank you, Elias, for joining us once again. We have about 2 minutes left of this quarter break, so we will be back shortly here on Radio K Sports. So stay tuned for the second quarter and conclusion of the first half. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Trask Angel alongside Connor Mockney, Jack Bartlett, and Elias Thomas here on the 6th floor of Huntington Bank Stadium, ready to bring you the second quarter of action from Huntington Bank Stadium. A beautiful day in November as Illinois is 1st and 10 from the Gopher 15, leading by 7. Under center is Peters. Peters with Brown behind him. He'll fake the handoff, roll to his right, end zone, wide open, touchdown, Illinois.
That was another sneaky play. They really fooled a lot of us on that play. They had a guy wide open. I mean, easy pitch and catch right there for the Illini as they go up 2 scores.
And the catch was made by Tip Riemann, the tight end, number 89. And it will be the second score of the day for the Illini. And it will give them a 13-0 lead. We'll wait and see on the extra point. 14:55 left to play in the first half. Snap, kick is away, and kick is right down the middle. So it's going to be a 14-0 lead for Illinois early in this game here in Minneapolis. And we're seeing once again, they were competitive against a ranked Penn State team. They pushed that game into overtime and stunned Penn State a little bit. And, showing they're not afraid to do it here either. They're in Minneapolis, not at home, and they've had some struggles this season, but they're obviously taking it to the Gophers so far.
Yeah, they are. Brett Bielema came up with the plan, and, he's gotten his team ready. Like we've said, he's shown that this program can compete with top-ranked teams on the road. At home's a little bit of a different story, but, he's gotten them ready to play, and they've kind of stunned, like you said, the Gophers here to begin with, especially with the amount of run-heavy offense that they've had. Looking at the first quarter stats, Minnesota allowed 93 yards on the ground in the first quarter, and that's pretty much their average that they allow for an entire game. So that's pretty important stuff right there. Pretty good stuff from the Illini offense.
For sure, and we have about 2 minutes left of our media timeout, so we'll call down Jack Bartlett to give us some insight on this game so far. Jack, what have you been seeing?
Yeah, thanks, Trask. So obviously Minnesota's run defense has been part of our defensive specialties, but we've already allowed 93 rushing yards, which is, I believe, right around our average. So the Gopher D-line is obviously not getting the push that it's used to. And I think going forward here, look for the Gophers to put 5 on the line, maybe load the box with 7 or 8 players, considering that the Illini have been almost solely reliant on the rush. And that last play where they stacked the line and just had a receiver kind of go through the defense and just wide open for a pretty easy touchdown. So thus far, Gopher defense has not looked great. They've looked unprepared and sort of lost on defense especially. And the offense hasn't been able to get much going on the 2 drives it's had. We don't get the ball after halftime. So I think it's very critical that the Gophers put points on the board, especially a touchdown right now.
Thank you very much, Jack, for joining us on the media timeout. Not the quarter break, but just after the quarter break. We're 5 seconds into the second quarter. So Minnesota will have plenty of time to go down and score. They've had about 5.5 minutes of possession so far. Illinois with just over 10. And so Minnesota will look to do some damage on offense here. Connor, we got about 30 seconds before we take the field. And what do we need to remind the viewers of? Is there anything you have for them?
I believe there's a podcast that we have here.
I think we do have a podcast. It's been going for a while.
Yeah, I think it has been.
The Sports Hour podcast, 6 to 7 p.m. on Tuesdays, hosted by Connor Mockney, and you've got just an incredible amount of guests and co-hosts and people that you bring in from all over the place to talk about. Literally, if you can think of a sport, I'm sure that it's been talked about on the podcast this year.
It's been mentioned. Trust us. Everything under the sun, Gopher sports, professional sports, you name it, any big news, we've talked about it.
So plenty more to talk about coming up in the next few weeks on the podcast too, with basketball getting underway, hockey in the thick of their season, and football obviously will have another game to talk about as they near the Big Ten championship. This kick is up and away for Illinois as they now are heading into the open end of the stadium. The Gopher offense will head out onto the field now in hopes of getting something going, at least getting a few first downs strung together as they struggled their last time out. They got the white bottoms on with the white shoes and socks, and then the maroon uniforms with the maroon helmets. And Connor, I think this may be one of my favorite jersey combinations that we have.
I think so too. We have a lot of really good ones, and I think this one's towards the top as well.
Illinois with 3 down linemen, 2 outside backers, a safety over the top. Morgan in shotgun. He'll have a receiver to his right, 3 to his left. He's going to snap, roll to his right after faking the handoff, throws downfield. Bad throw, but caught and reined in for a first down by number 88, Brevin Span, for the tight end.
Just exactly as you were alluding to, needing some first downs here to give their defense a little bit of a rest. That's a good start.
First down for Minnesota. They'll now be on their own 36-yard line on the right hash near their own sideline. In shotgun is number 12, Cole Kramer. He's got 2 receivers to his left. He'll fake the handoff, run it himself. He's got a seam. He's across the 45 and down to the 49. First down, Minnesota.
Really like seeing that, and we had expected to see a little bit more of him, obviously, with the 3rd running back going out for the year and, relying on 2 underclassmen as your starting running backs. So we figured we'd see a little bit more of him today and going throughout the season. That's a good start for him.
Minnesota will make some adjustments at the line. Kramer will stay in the game. He's got 2 receivers to his left and a tight end. Kramer fakes the handoff. Kramer to throw. Kramer has a completed catch. And he's brought down out of bounds at the 32-yard line in front of the Gopher bench. Who else but number 42, Cole Kieft.
That was a nice one-handed catch over the shoulder, too. Woo, what a play that was.
Minnesota with 2 quick first downs and 2 quick chunk plays. They'll line it up once again. Ottman Bell by himself on this near side to the right of Kramer. Kramer will look sideline. He's got a running back to his left, a tight end, and a receiver. He'll fake the handoff, look to run himself. He's hit at the line or maybe behind it and immediately swarmed by this Illinois defense. And looks like they're going to mark him down 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd and 12 for the Gophers as Kramer subs out.
Yeah, not much going on there. Illinois was able to swarm and penetrate through that offensive line to get to Kramer before he could get anything going.
Daniel Jackson on the field along with Irving and Morgan. Ottman Bell again alone on this near side. Only 1 safety over the top. Assume he's helping on the lethal Ottman Bell. Morgan looks sideline. He's shotgun with Irving to his left. He'll fake the handoff to Irving. Nice pocket over the middle and thrown into traffic, and he's hit as that ball came in. The crowd is livid, but no call from the referee. It was number 9, Daniel Jackson, who the pass was intended for. He's going across the middle. Don't know if it was the best place to put this ball by Morgan, but Daniel Jackson definitely gets hit. And a no call from the referee will force a 3rd and 12 as the boos continue to echo down on the referees here at Huntington.
Yeah, all the refs wearing maroon and gold in the stands were not fans of that.
Morgan in shotgun, empty backfield, 3 to his left, 2 to his right. He'll look to the sideline. He's got 4 to snap. Low snap, picks it off the ground. He'll roll to his left. Morgan thinks about throwing, now he's gonna run. Morgan on his feet, Morgan hit hard. Short of the first down, so you're going to be at, the 22-yard line.
1 yard short, too.
4th and 1. What do you do here, Connor, if you're PJ Fleck?
It looks like they're going to go for it. They're bringing Cole Kramer out onto the field.
And now we have a whistle, and the Illinois coaching staff and trainers are out on the field. I didn't see a signal for a timeout.
I didn't either.
Do we have an injured Fighting Illini? No, he's up too. I'm not sure what the pause was for.
Were they giving Illinois time to make some substitutions? But you wouldn't call that out, and you wouldn't have a trainer come out on the field with a water bottle for that.
12:18 to play. They're going to restart the clock here, so a momentary pause. 4th and 1. Kramer's back on the field. 2 receivers to his right. He looks sideline. The box is littered with Illini. The motion of man in. Kramer fakes the handoff. Kramer hit in the backfield, not even close. Second effort, though, is after the whistle, and he's going to be at least a yard short, maybe even a little more. And the Illini do a good job of plugging that one up, so it's going to be a first down for Illinois as they uncover this pile. And Minnesota, gutsy call on 4th and 1. You could have settled for a field goal, but they had the momentum, and they're holding this ball down.
Are they going to bring the chains?
I don't think it's necessary to bring the chains out. So 11:57 to play in the first half. The Gophers down by 14 to the Fighting Illini here at home. On 4th and 1, they attempt to go for it and are going to be really short. I'm not sure why we measured that. But Illinois will get the ball back on their own 22-yard line. And the Gopher defense will look to see if they can make a stop as they'll reset the chains and get a new ball in. As we'll head to another media timeout here at Huntington Bank Stadium. The Gophers trailing the Fighting Illini 0-14 with 11:57 left to play in the first half. And with that, we will send it over to our sideline reporter, Jack Bartlett. Jack, what do you got for us?
Hey, Tresk. So while the Gophers offense can't get much going on this drive, I said they needed to score, and they didn't quite get it. Especially on that, at least on that 4th down call, I like the call to keep Kramer in, but obviously not a great execution. And as you alluded to earlier on the Illinois second touchdown, they stacked the line and just threw a receiver towards the end zone, basically wide open. Maybe the Gophers would have tried that on 4th down. That might have been a risky call, but that pass interference that wasn't called on Daniel Jackson, I think, was what really killed this drive. It was pretty evident to all of us up in the booth that the cornerback had gotten to him early before the ball got there. And if he would have caught it, he would have been down to the 10-yard line in the red zone, and the Gophers might have had a chance to score. But nonetheless, in the rest of the Big Ten today, Ohio State's taking on Nebraska. They are tied 0-0 at the end of the first. And most of the games in the Big Ten aren't actually happening right now. Michigan State is playing against Purdue at 2:30. Wisconsin plays Rutgers at 2:30. Penn State and Maryland play at 2:30 as well. And then 22-ranked Iowa plays Northwestern at 6, and Michigan plays Indiana at 6:30. So no really huge ranked matchups across the rest of college football this week either. The only ranked matchup being number 13 Auburn against number 14 Texas A&M. But I'm sure we'll see more ranked matchups and maybe a couple fun upsets today.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jack, for joining us during the timeout. We'll be back in about 60 seconds here on Radio K Sports. We'll see you back right after this.
Excuse me. I'm going to drink some water for 1 second. In the meantime, you can think about what it means that it's Scorpio season. Okay, I'm back. Lights flashing, signs passing. I could drive anywhere, but there's nowhere that I really want to go. Let my phone die for the first time. I don't have anywhere to be. I guess I'll just go home.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Radio K Sports live from Huntington Bank Stadium via YouTube. We want to thank everybody who's listening in around the country. 11:57 left to play in the first half. I'm Trask Angel alongside Connor Mockney, and our sideline reporters today are Elias Thomas and Jack Bartlett. Our media timeout has just ended. Illini offense is out on the field, looking to score and extend their lead, already at 14 for today. They'll be heading from their own 22 towards the empty end of the stadium. Under center, they'll hand to Brown. Brown flowing to the left, and will get a gain of about 5. So once again, that off-tackle run for Illinois is super effective.
Yeah, they've done a good job. Their offensive line has done a good job of blocking, and there hasn't been much pressure on the running back in the backfield or on the quarterback at all today from this defense.
11:32 to play. 2nd and 5 for Illinois. They have a receiver left to right, a tight end to the left of Peters under center. He'll send a man in motion towards the Gopher sideline. He'll look to his left. He'll snap. He'll hand off to Brown. Brown hit at the line but sneaks forward for a gain of about 3. It's going to be 3rd and short for Illinois from the right hash.
Yeah, another run there from Brown, who's been their bell cow so far. Wouldn't be surprised if they go back to it here on 3rd.
Gopher defense looking for another stop. 3rd and short, deep in Illinois territory. The Gopher fans on their feet. Illinois in shotgun. Brown to the left of Peters. 2 receivers left, 1 right, along with a tight end. He'll clap, he'll snap, he'll fake the handoff, he'll run and dive. And it's going to be close. The referee runs in. We don't have a spot yet. He's on the left hash on the Gopher sideline. And they have it marked at the 31.5-yard line. And our marker is at the 32-yard line. So it's going to be 4th and a half yard. Illinois will go for this. The Gophers are going to send out a couple of the big boys to clog up that center. 10 minutes to go here in the first half as Huntington Bank Stadium is rocking, looking for a stop on 4th down. Peters under center. And before he snaps it, Illinois will take a timeout. So 10 minutes on the dot will be the first charge timeout of the half, and it will be Illinois. And if we'll see what they do here. Obviously, they didn't like what they saw against that Gopher defense. So we'll see. You'd have to assume they're going to go for it here with the way they've been running the ball, correct?
Exactly. I think you might have to, especially with, Gophers not having a stop yet on defense. So, I mean, I would be shocked if they decided to punt this away.
I would be too. We'll take a break here on Radio K Sports. Media timeout has 2 minutes left. Set your watches. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Trask Angel alongside Connor Mockney and our sideline reporters, Elias Thomas and Jack Bartlett. We're up here on the 6th floor of Huntington Bank Stadium, ready to go for the last 10 minutes of the first half. Goldie Gopher just sent his free t-shirts into the stands. The crowd's ready to go as we're 4th and half a yard. And Connor, I don't believe it, but Illinois has sent out the punting unit on 4th and half a yard from the 31-yard line.
That is quite surprising.
Minnesota has a man back, but should be cautious here. And this snap, and the punt is away. So they decide to punt, and Minnesota decides not to pick up this ball, and so it's going to roll all the way down to about the 22-yard line. Excuse me, the 17-yard line. So the Gophers will start right hash from their own 17, and the Minnesota defense stands tall and forces a punt from Illinois.
I am honestly shocked by that. We haven't, like we said, we haven't had a stop yet on defense, and Illinois could have just, their offensive line's gotten some really good pushes. So I'm genuinely surprised by the punt call there.
Well, exactly. With how well the offensive line has played and how well the run game has worked, why wouldn't you try to go for it there? And your defense has also done a nice job of stopping Minnesota up till this point. Surprising call there from Illinois, but maybe one Minnesota can capitalize on as Morgan is in shotgun. He'll have Irving to his left. Irving's going to run to the right side, and Irving got hit weird, maybe something along the helmet. No flag, though, as he's going to be stood up for a gain of maybe a yard or two.
Looked like he got wrapped up, like you said, up near the helmet or even the shoulder pad area, so something must have happened there. We got maybe grabbed around the horse collar or something, but no flag, like you said.
9:20 and counting in the first half. Minnesota will line up with 5 linemen, 2 tight ends, and 2 receivers, all stacked on the left side. Morgan in shotgun, a safety over the top for Illinois, 2 corners on either receiver for Minnesota. Clicking down to 9 minutes. Morgan snaps. Morgan fakes the handoff, drops back, looking to throw. He feels pressure, throws sideline, and not even close to number 22, Mike Brown-Stevens, who was about 10 yards further downfield than that throw.
Yeah, some good pressure there from the Illini coming off the edge, and Morgan kind of had to scramble there, really nowhere to go.
Kai Thomas will stand to the right of Morgan. The Gopher offense on the right hash with Ottman Bell alone near the numbers in front of the Gopher bench. Trips to the left as they head towards the student section. Illinois spread out. A safety back deep. Morgan makes some adjustments at the line. 3rd and 8 for Minnesota. Snaps looking to throw. Good pocket. Morgan rolls right. Comes back to the left. Morgan on the move. Throws to Kai Thomas. Kai Thomas has the ball. Kai Thomas breaks a tackle. Kai Thomas with the first down.
Beautiful play there. Nice job by Thomas to break some tackles, make some moves, and he dives forward for plenty of yardage for that first down.
1st and 10 for Minnesota from their own 30-yard line. They'll now be left hash in front of the Illinois bench. They're going to make a few substitutions, and they'll set up trips to the right side. Morgan in shotgun. Check that. Cole Kramer in with Irving to his left. Packing the box is Illinois. Illinois is fooled as Kramer pulls the ball, and he's out to maybe a first down and thrown out of bounds. The Minnesota fans want a flag. That one looks bad, but I think that was okay.
I think so too. I think it was just as he was close to out.
And they show the replay, and the fans are livid.
Yet again.
8 minutes and counting. Another nice play for Minnesota. It's going to be 2nd and 1 as Cole Kramer picks up 9 with his feet. He'll stay in the game. Shotgun with Irving to his right. Brown Stevens alone out wide on the right side with a tight end. The snap, the handoff to Irving. Irving sidesteps his way to another Golden Gopher first down.
Nice job getting him incorporated there. Made a nice little move. And Minnesota looks to be driving a little bit here with the run game.
Gophers on their own 44-yard line, left hash. 1st and 10. As that whole line is now in the sun. 2 receivers out wide to the right in the shade. The overhang of Huntington Bank Stadium cutting down just about the center of the field. Morgan back in with Irving to his left. He's got a tight end to the right. Morgan hands to Irving. Irving looking to get outside. He's going to try to cut back, and he's going to lose 2. And it's going to be 2nd and long for the Golden Gophers with 7 minutes remaining. They're down by 2 scores, 14-0. And we'll have a whistle as we have an injured Illini on the field.
To be Isaiah Gay, the outside linebacker there, the senior, who was down.
2nd and 12 from the Gopher 42 as both teams will huddle up near their respective numbers as we are going to take a break here in Minneapolis with 6:59 left to play, and we will hear from our sideline reporter Jack Bartlett once again before we head to our Radio K DJs. Jack, what do you got for us?
Yeah, so for this game, and especially for this drive, I really like what I've seen. That 3rd and 8 catch by Irving, that was huge. And Morgan didn't throw him a great pass. He kind of had to reach out for it, but he stayed on his feet, made one man miss, and got the first down, which was really huge. That would have been another bad 3 and out as the Illinois players just standing up now. And Illinois has been doing a lot of what I think the Gophers should be doing, is loading 5 on the line, maybe playing a linebacker or 2, but other than that, playing 1 deep safety pretty consistently. So like we've been saying throughout basically the whole season, the Gophers need to take shots. They got to do it eventually, make teams respect that. That'll set up the run game. Even if it doesn't work, we've taken one probably 20-plus yard pass, and that was maybe a pass interference. So be looking especially on this 2nd and long and maybe a 3rd and long if it does get to that situation. I think the Gophers are going to be throwing here maybe 2 plays in a row, or maybe try and fool Illinois with a run. But Illinois has been pretty consistent stopping the run with those 5 guys on the line. And obviously a 5-on-5 for the O-line rather than a 5-on-4 is a large advantage for the Illini, considering that they take up all the blocks. And if one man misses a block, that's a pretty easy tackle no matter where you're at for any defensive lineman or defensive end or even a linebacker. So I think, again, Gophers need to get on the board in this drive, and at least in this half. 14-0 with 6:59 remaining. Most likely, we may get another possession if we can get another defensive stop. We still have 3 timeouts to Illinois' 2. But since Illinois is kind of controlling the game with the run and especially controlling the time of possession, which the Gophers have been great at doing throughout this entire season, that doesn't bode well for the rest of the game. And I think the Gophers really got to go into the half and make some critical adjustments to keep that ball longer and keep Illinois' offense off the field, which has marched down the field now twice.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jack, for joining us on that media timeout. We have about 45 seconds left, so we'll stick around and remind you that Gopher basketball is right around the corner. Men and women both have their home opener on November 9th. The women will be, I believe, at noon, if I'm correct.
I believe so.
And the men will be at 7 p.m. And Radio K Sports will be broadcasting men's basketball this year. We've been doing men's hockey. We've had some women's volleyball. So really trying to get as many sports in as we can as we have the media timeout coming to a close here. And one quick reminder to subscribe to the Radio K 770 page. Then you can get notified anytime we go live with a broadcast, not just football, but all those other sports as well. Thank you again to everybody who's joining us as we are 2nd and 12 from the Minnesota 42. Morgan in shotgun. He's got 2 receivers to his right, 1 left, a tight end on his left. And he'll look to throw. Nice pocket. Stands in the pocket, throws to Thomas. And Thomas is hit on the low throw, but reins it in. So it's going to be 3rd and manageable for this Minnesota Gopher team on the 47.
Let's do what they decided to do here. Nothing was really open. So nice little check down, getting some yards, and like you said, making it a little more 3rd and manageable for the Gophers.
Officially 3rd and 7 from the 47. Few substitutions for either team. A big man for Illinois taking his time to get off, and the referee giving him time. Ball's in play now. Trips to the left for Morgan. He's got a running back to his right. Ottman Bell all alone with the cornerback on the near side. That safety over the top, cheating to the far side a little bit. 2 to snap. Morgan gets it away. Here comes pressure. Morgan throws it down the middle. A dangerous throw into traffic. Lands harmlessly to the turf, but it's going to be 4th and 7, and this has got to be a punt from Minnesota with 5:50 left in the first.
Yeah, and as you say that, the punt unit does come out, and Mark Crawford's going to look to pin Illinois back deep in their own territory. And yeah, that one was close. The pressure came off the edge, both edges actually, and it landed in between Kai Thomas and Ko Kieft. And luckily no Illini was there to intercept it.
Crawford back for the Gophers. Snap is right at his waist, and this ball is up in the air. It's going to hang there, and it's fair caught at the 9-yard line. So the Illini will start at their 20 with 5:43 remaining. The Gophers now 1 for 5 on 3rd down today, as the Minnesota defense coming off a really nice stop, 3 and out to give the ball back to their offense is going to have to do it again. As the Illini, I said they're starting on the 20, they're starting on the 9, where he fair caught it. 5:43 left in the first half, 14-0 Illinois. Under center is Peters. Brown behind him. They'll motion a man across. Now they have 2 receivers to the left. They'll hand off to Brown. Brown looking for an edge. Brown won't find it. 47, Jack Gibbons reins him in. Gain of maybe a yard.
If that.
2nd and long for the Illini.
It looks like they're going to say he got nothing on that play. Jack Gibbons, who we've called quite a bit so far this year, is making another play, another big impact play right there from him.
Minnesota has Illinois backed up deep. This Illinois offense pinned between the defense and the student section. They're desperately looking for a first down with 5 minutes remaining. Trips to the left, no receiver right. Peters in shotgun with Brown to his right. He'll motion a man across. He'll clap and snap, looking to throw. Has a man open, no catch on the play. Jack Gibbons on the coverage, hit immediately as he catches. Ball comes out. Third down and 10, 4:55 left.
Do we sense a little bit of a momentum shift from this defense?
We do. The fans are back on their feet. The crowd noise is up, and we have a PJ Fleck impersonator down in front of us getting the crowd going.
It looks pretty close to him. Bald head and everything.
It does. Third down and 10 from the 9. Peter shotgun, trips to his left. He's going to walk up, make a few adjustments. He's got a receiver out wide. He'll bring in one of his 3 on the left to a tight end. Brown now moves to the left of Peters. They're going to hand the ball off. Has a seam, and he's hit at the 15 and brought down. It's going to be 4th down and 5, and the punt team's on the field for Illinois.
Exactly what the doctor ordered, a 3 and out and keeping the Illini deep in their own zone, in their own side of the field. So a beautiful job by the defense there, as the punter is going to have to go from his own end zone.
4:30 and counting. This Minnesota offense has plenty of time, plus 3 timeouts. They'll have a great opportunity here to score as the defense has forced back-to-back 3 and outs. Snap is good, punts away. A line drive snap, and the Gophers let it bounce. They'll pick it up at their 45. Breaks 1 tackle and is rolled up to the 48-yard line. So the Gophers will start left hash, 1st and 10 from their own 48, and we have a scuffle occurring in front of the Illini bench. Couple Gopher players in, and the referees push the Gophers away. No flags on the field, thankfully. And I believe it's Terrell Smith who was over there voicing his opinions to the Illinois bench. Looked like maybe he thought maybe a late hit and his helmet came off.
I think they had his helmet too. Like a referee had to come over there and give it to him.
So 4:10 remaining as the Golden Gophers are back on offense. And we have a whistle from the referee. He's searching for his hat.
Might need that one.
Yeah, all right, he's got his hat. He's back where he needs to be. We have 11 guys on either side of the ball, and the ball is now in play. 1st and 10 from the 48. Morgan shotgun, Irving to his right. 3 receivers to the left, one of them's a tight end. Morgan looks sideline. Morgan claps. Morgan snaps. Hands the ball off. Irving stutter steps backfield, slides to the right of the tackle, and falls forward to the 50, maybe 51. 2nd and long for Minnesota.
Would like to see our 2 running backs get more involved, maybe find a hole here or two. Try to get some big gains here, as they've been held in check for the most part in this game.
3:45 to play. 2nd and 8 from the 50-yard line. Minnesota heading towards their student section. Morgan claps his hands but looks sideline. He has Irving to his right, a receiver to his left. Morgan shotgun looking to throw. Morgan has nobody, and he is jumping around in the pocket, and he eventually falls forward, maybe loses a yard. Man, he looks jumpy in the pocket today.
Something's off. I don't know if he can't see or something, or I don't know what's going on, but he looks really jumpy like you said.
So it's going to be 3:10 and counting. 3rd and long. Illinois has a hockey line change here for the D front, as Minnesota will set up no back. 3 receivers right, 2 left. 3 down linemen for Illinois, everyone else out wide. A safety deep and a linebacker at about 10 yards. Morgan looking to pass in the pocket. Throws downfield, has a man, overthrew him. It's going to be 4th down. He had number 9, Daniel Jackson, open down the sideline and just missed him. He had a step or maybe 2 and just overthrew him, threw it out of bounds. And unfortunately, the Gophers have to punt with 2:42 left in the first half.
It was a nice time to take a shot there. Just got to find a way to place that a little bit better.
Back to punt for the Gophers once again is number 96, Mark Crawford. Kick is away. Kick's got some good height to it, and it's going to be fair caught at the 9.5, maybe 10-yard line. So once again, good punt for the Gophers. And it will be 2:36 officially when Illinois starts back on offense. They have a 14-0 lead here in Minneapolis. Before we head to break, we'll hear once again from Jack Bartlett. Jack, what do you got for us?
Yeah, so on that last drive, again, great field position to start, just short of the 50-yard line, and a pretty nonchalant 3-and-out. Not really much going on offense. That deep shot that I was talking about, it was very close to working, and Daniel Jackson would have been down to about the 15-yard line if he would have caught that. So pretty close, but the biggest thing that I saw is when you guys said Morgan was a little squirrely in the pocket, we dropped back to pass on 2nd and 8 or whatever it might have been, and we had 2 receivers. Like, you can't expect 2 receivers covered by a defensive back, a defensive back each, a linebacker, and a safety. That's a 2-on-1 matchup, and you can't really expect them to get open. You can expect Morgan to hold the ball and the O-line to block because the Illini aren't rushing anybody, but especially with those 2 receiver sets, it's very hard for them to get open, even with the 1 deep safety. So honestly, I don't really want to see any more 2 receiver pass attempts unless they're short slants or something along those lines, because the Gopher offense just can't get that wide open. Their receivers aren't tall enough, and frankly, it's almost impossible to get a 2-on-1 matchup and to get open.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jack, for your insight. We'll head to a commercial break here on Radio K Sports, and we'll send it over to our Radio K DJs. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back a little late. We were watching an impressive lip sync rendition of
Don't Stop Believing.
Don't Stop Believing by a student in the student section. We're 1st and 10, though, for Illinois from their own 10. They're going to hand off to the right side, and he's hit at the line by Jack Gibbons. He's going to fall forward for maybe a gain of 1, and it's going to be 2nd and long for the Fighting Illini.
Defense is starting to make themselves known here, especially Jack Gibbons in that linebacker position, as he's been making quite a few tackles on these last few drives.
The student section chop has started as the marching band's already on the field, ready to go for halftime. The crowd's up, ready to go. 2nd and long. Peters under center. Brown behind him. Tight end to the right, 2 receivers to the right. He's going to snap. He'll hand off. And has nowhere to go. Maybe a gain of 2. He had a seam momentarily, and he's immediately swallowed by this Gopher defense. The clock has stopped, and as Connor signals to me, it looks like the Gophers have called a timeout, and I think that's a great move, right? You got them 3rd and 7. You get one more stop here. Your offense is going to have nearly 2 minutes to be able to go down and score. So 1:57 left. We still haven't heard an official announcement from the referee, but I think it's safe to say we're going to go ahead and assume that it's a Minnesota timeout.
Yes, it is.
3rd and 7 for the Illini from their own 13. is there any scenario, Connor, that they go for it on 4th and short?
I mean, they've shown earlier in the game that potentially know that they're going to punt on 4th and inches. But I think if they can get it within 4th and a yard, I would not be surprised if they do go for it.
All right, both teams back out on the field, and every single person in Huntington Bank Stadium on their feet, cheering, ready to go, looking for one more stop from this Gopher defense. Illinois spreads it out a little bit, trips to the right, single receiver left side. Peters comes to the line, he'll bring a man in for some blocking. Brown to the right of Peters. Peters will hand to Brown. He's hit in the backfield and brought down. Not a chance. 34 for the Golden Gophers. Boye Mafe brings him down. It's 4th and long, 1:51 on the clock. And the Minnesota Golden Gopher defense, 3 consecutive 3-and-outs.
That's exactly what we were looking for. This is the kind of defensive effort that we wanted to start the game. Obviously, it was a little tough to begin with the first few drives resulting in touchdowns. But Minnesota's defense looked like it's regrouped and made some really good adjustments in order to stop Illini with 2 straight 3-and-outs.
So we have another timeout called by Minnesota. So they're going to punt this, I would assume. They punt this ball away as they're 4th and 11 on their own 9.
They can go for it. Give us some short field.
The shadow of Huntington Bank Stadium running along almost exactly on that left hash. As Illinois will huddle, and their punter, Blake Hayes, will be about halfway into his own end zone. Minnesota defense looking like they're going to send guys in to block, and they will not. They're going to go safe with the punt return. It's going to be caught at the 45. Across the 50, hit at the 45, falls forward to the 44, and the Golden Gophers have to go 44 yards with 1:42 remaining to get themselves on the board before halftime. And Connor, I'd say that this second quarter has been a substantial upgrade for the defense and, for the offense as well. They haven't done much, but they've done better, all around since that first quarter.
I would agree. And this drive is it's imperative that there are some points put up on the board. Preferably, you'd want a touchdown, especially with Illinois receiving the ball to begin the second half. And so you're going to be looking potentially for some more of the pass game here.
Minnesota shotgun on the right hash. Morgan stands half in, half out of the shade. Irving to his left, a receiver to the right, 2 to the left. Morgan looks to throw across the middle, caught, first down and more. Chris Odman-Bell across the 20, first down Minnesota.
First time we've called his name today with a reception. Chris Ottman-Bell, look for him to get a little more involved, especially after that big play.
Number 16, Dylan Wright, looking like he's going to sub off. He'll come back on, though. He's the one all alone on the numbers on the Gopher sideline. 2 other receivers to his left. Morgan, shotgun. Irving to the left of Morgan. With the tight end to his left, Morgan looks sideline. He'll snap. He'll fake the handoff. Looking to throw, good pocket. He's going to try to escape, and he'll lose another yard. And it's going to be a timeout called by Minnesota, their last, so 1:07 left. And it's going to be 2nd and 11 from the Illinois 20. And again there, Connor, Morgan drops back, sets his feet for maybe a second, and then immediately is gone.
Yeah, he's gone into scramble mode quite a bit. And that one, he had, kind of a clean pocket, and the rusher number 96 for Illinois, Roderick Perry, the second, didn't come flying in until he had tried to escape the pocket. So, he had time, he had space. All he had to do was kind of step up.
All right, it's 2nd and 11, 1:07 left. Gophers have just used their last timeout. They trail by 14 to the visiting Fighting Illini here in Minneapolis. Gopher defense has played outstanding in this second quarter after giving up a score in the first and a score with 5 seconds into the second quarter. Since then, it has been all Minnesota defense, no Illinois offense. And the Minnesota offense looking to get in on the action second quarter as they have been kept out of the end zone and really very few first downs As we'll see what they can do with a minute 07 left. Morgan in shotgun. He'll have 3 receivers left, 1 right. Kai Thomas motions from the right to the left. He's going to fake the handoff to Thomas. Morgan escapes a tackle. Morgan on the run. Morgan to the 15, and he's hit hard and rolls. We have a flag on the play, so clock will stop. And I think we're walking this one back 10 for a hold on the Golden Gopher O-line.
Yeah, they're going to call a hold. It came from the back judge, so almost every time that he throws a flag, it's going to be a hold.
Holding is called against the Minnesota Golden Gopher offense. It's against number 70, Sam Schluter, the redshirt senior. And so just like that, now you're back to the 31-yard line, maybe 30. They're going to put them on the 30. So now you're on the 30-yard line. You got a minute 01 left. It's 2nd and 21. I think you got to try to get 2 chunk plays here and hope for a field goal. Morgan shotgun, looking to throw. Morgan with time, sets his feet, and throws to nobody.
Who was that to?
I think he was attempting to throw it to number 88, Brevin Spanford.
It was like 10 yards short.
But, right, well short, and he had time. So Morgan will stop the clock with that incomplete pass. And maybe some confusion on which route was supposed to be run there, but he throws it towards 2 Illini defenders.
Looking at the replay here, it looks like he was trying to go to Kai Thomas, but Thomas went one way and Morgan threw the other way, expecting that route to be a little bit different, so you are correct on that.
So 53 seconds remaining, 3rd and 21 for the Golden Gopher offense. And Illinois is going to call their second timeout, wanting to make sure they have all their ducks in a row to make sure that Minnesota doesn't get a free first down here. Connor, Minnesota, let's say they get 19 of the 21 yards. It's 4th and 2. If you're calling the plays, are you kicking here, or you think they should attempt to go on 4th and 2, 4th and 1, 4th and 3?
Personally, I would say go for a field goal, get something on the board, because you've already been stopped on 4th and short already earlier in this game. And so you don't want to give Illinois any sort of momentum swing going into half. And so I would say just kind of take the points in the situation.
53 seconds remaining in the first half. 3rd and 21 from the Illinois 30. The Gophers heading towards their student section, who's on their feet and looking for the first points of the day for this Golden Gopher offense. Morgan, shotgun, 3 receivers left, 1 right. 2 safeties over the top for Illinois. Morgan snaps in the pocket, looking to throw. Morgan gets flushed. Morgan throws, and he throws to Kai Thomas at about the 27-yard line. And a few boo birds leaking out as Morgan throws short, and so it's going to be 4th down and pretty long, 4th and 18 officially. Morgan gets brought down on that play. Pops up, he's all right. And so there's about 20 seconds left. The field goal unit has now come on. Illinois will make a few substitutions as well. So Minnesota from the right hash, kicking from the 35. It's a 45-yard field goal attempt. Under 10 seconds, the snap, the hold are good. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. It is wide left, I believe. And so with 3 seconds left, the Gophers unable to convert, and they're going to still trail by 14 here in Minneapolis.
I mean, everything that could have gone wrong at the end of that drive went wrong, and looking at the replay here, he actually hooked it right. No, that's left, my bad. I'm a senior, I promise I go to school.
So if you hold your hands up, Connor, the one that makes the L is
the L
left.
is left.
Yeah.
Oh, it's backwards. It's a tough day.
So Illinois will come out on the field, and they're just going to knee it to finish off the half. So after one half, the Golden Gophers trail the Fighting Illini 0-14, as they looked like they were picking up a little bit momentum in that second quarter, but unfortunately fail to finish off the drive to end the half. So they'll trail by 2 scores and need to make a few adjustments offensively at halftime. We'll take a break here on Radio K Sports. The halftime show will be starting shortly, so stay tuned for some insights from Jack Bartlett and Elias Thomas. We'll be back right after this on Radio K Sports.
Having yourself a night. Well, it's alright, it's alright. You're taking a look outside. It's a blue world, blue world. Even if you're colorblind, it's still a blue world, blue world. Now you know the OCD nut.
Welcome back to Huntington Bank Stadium here for the Minnesota Golden Gophers versus the Illinois Fighting Illini. The Illini are up 14-0 against the Gophers right now. Jack, it has been a rough first half. Some positives, some negatives. Let's look at some of the stats out of this first half here.
Yeah, thanks, Elias. So some stats from the first half. Morgan went 6 of 12 for 65 yards with that one batted interception. Kramer completed a pass for 20. That went to Kieft. The leader in receiving is actually Kai Thomas with 3 catches for 19 yards. Ottman Bell had a 24-yard catch. Jackson had an 11-yard catch, and Spanford had one as well. In terms of rushing, not really what we're used to from the Gophers. Kramer has 4 rushes for 20, Irving 4 for 18, Kai Thomas 4 for 17, and Morgan 5 for 5. But that does include the sacks. So, and Illinois has had 2 of those thus far. Total yardage, Minnesota has 145 to Illinois' 152. And passing yards, we have 85, they have 47. Rushing yards, we have 60, they have 105. We have 2 penalties, Illinois has 1. As I talked about in the pregame show, Illinois doesn't take a lot of penalties, and it's coming true. They only had 1 penalty thus far, and that was for a false start pretty early in the game. The red zone is what is really the key. The Gophers have been at or near the red zone a lot of times. They've only actually been in the red zone once, and they missed that field goal after the penalty and the negative play. Other than that, Illinois is passing 4 of 5 for 47 yards for Peters. Brown has rushed 16 times for 78 yards, and just consistent rushing yards. Other than those last 3 drives for the Gopher defense, that first quarter really
what didn't look like the characteristic Gophers defense that we know, shutting down the run. But in the last 3 drives, Illinois has had 3 3-and-outs with a combined total offense of 13 yards, and then obviously the last one before the half ending with a kneel. But Gopher defense has absolutely done their part now in the second quarter especially. Now just the offense needs to convert their opportunities into points, and taking those bad penalties and the sacks especially have really hurt the Golden Gophers and their inability to go downfield with the throws. Morgan getting time but not being able to connect with a receiver downfield thus far. I believe the longest throw was actually thrown by Kramer, that one-handed catch by Kokeef. That was actually a very good catch. It was pretty impressive that he caught it. But other than that, things that I'm looking for in the second half, this is the first time all season that the Gophers have been shut out in the first half. They had 3 in that rough game against Bowling Green. So hopefully this game isn't trending in that direction, because we all know what happened there, and we'd all like to forget that game as well.
And I believe the statistic is under PJ Fleck, he's 1-17 when trailing at halftime, which is not a great look right now. But you were talking about, Chase Brown having a lot of yards there. And something I noticed with him is he's very quick. As soon as he gets the ball, his acceleration is pretty impressive, and he's just very quick off the handoffs. And he's hard to bring down, and he gets these big bursts of rushes and gets big gains pretty quickly. But as we saw, the defense was stepping up close to our end zone, and that starts with those great punts by our special teams. Two punts inside the 10, one inside the 20. So setting them up deep in their own territory is definitely helpful. And the defense stepped up. We saw Boye Mafe with a big tackle for loss. Jack Gibbons stepping up again with some huge tackles. Then on the offensive side, Tanner Morgan, it looks scared or something. I don't know what's going on with him in the pocket, but something I saw a lot is when he starts to feel pressure, the O-line is doing a really good job of continuing to hold that pocket, but Tanner's stepping outside of the pocket, and that's when he's getting these grabbed by the D linemen and getting dragged down or getting pressure, and he's forcing bad throws or throwing it away. What he needs to do is start stepping up more when he feels that pressure, find that first, second look, and get a ball downfield. I think has some guys open. He's just not taking those chances because he's rushing and he's trying to do too much in the pocket. He needs to recognize when to step up, when to roll out, and he needs to make those throws downfield.
Exactly, and especially on that one run that came back, Morgan had an opening, and he saw it, and he took it, and he was actually able to pick up a decent chunk of yards. I believe he picked up 7 or 8, even though it had to come back because of the holding, and that was really confident. He was confident in his decision. He didn't delay or mull around in the pocket anymore. He just committed to the run and got a decent gain even with the holding. And obviously with that touchdown last week, the Gophers have shown, and Tanner Morgan has shown, that he can run. And I think in the second half, maybe when he sees pressure, and especially there's pressure around the edges, maybe Tanner Morgan runs up the center, where the Gophers' O-line has been holding up better in the center and on the guards. But I think that the tackles are it's the hardest O-line position to play,
sure,
because you got to protect Morgan's blind side, and obviously a player coming from the blind side is almost an automatic fumble or a sack or worse. So I think look for the offensive tackles, and especially to contain those defensive linemen from getting around and trapping Morgan in the pocket, kind of encircling him almost in the pocket, and look for them to give Morgan an option to run if he would like. And then in terms of the Gopher defense, just keep doing what they were doing. The last 3 drives looked like the Gopher defense of old, consistently stopping the run, not allowing much in terms of the passing game. I mean, if you're the Gopher defense, you look at this Illinois offense and you see 5 throws and that 1 for a touchdown. If I'm the Gopher defense, I'm putting 5 on the line every time and playing 1 deep safety. That's what Illinois has been playing throughout the whole game, is one deep safety other than on that 3rd and long. It was 21 yards or something, and they would obviously play 2 safeties on that. But Morgan has tried to throw downfield. He hasn't been able to. And Peters has mostly done short throws. The longest throw was the touchdown. And so the Gopher defense keep doing what they're doing. And this 3rd quarter, as I've said in past games, has been a real struggle for the Gophers. Their offense has looked bad to almost very bad in the 3rd quarter of some games. They haven't put any points up on the board when they've gotten the ball after the half, which is when you need to score. And so look for Illinois to adjust after those 3 short drives, and also look for them to be attempting to march down the field. And if we can get another solid defensive drive, get decent field position, the offense couldn't have asked for better field position on those last 3 drives. They had the ball inside the 40-yard line, and they weren't able to do anything with it. So what does that say about where the offense is coming from? So I guess the 3rd quarter is going to be coming up here in about 9 minutes or so. Is there anything that you want to add, Elias?
I got nothing. It's a nice, sunny, warm day. Again, I said in the pregame show, we'll take this heat in November.
Absolutely.
For sure. Let's see if this is a big game for Minnesota to stay atop the Big Ten West and continue their win streak, and gives them some hope to maybe move up a little bit in the rankings and finish on a really strong suit in the season. But I think if they lose this game, I think we're going to see kind of a collapse for sure, as they got some really tough opponents with Iowa, Wisconsin coming up. Like these are tough games. So you got to be able to beat the teams like Illinois. But also Illinois, we've seen, again, Trask mentioned it, the Penn State game, they were really a tough team to play against, and they came out with the win against a number 7 ranked team. But I think we talked about it. This 3rd quarter is huge. Let's see if PJ Fleck, Tanner Morgan, and the rest of the offense can come out and get something going. And, anything else you want to touch on?
Yeah, just one more thing to add. Honestly, with this first half that we've had, unless we come out and dominate the second half and win by the 2 scores or cover the spread that we were initially projected, we were 14.5-point favorites, and to be down by that at halftime is not obviously not great. But against the Bowling Green game, we were 30-point favorites, and we haven't been double-digit favorites since the Bowling Green game. So I don't know, kind of Vegas might be jinxing us a bit. And even if we do come back and squeak out a win against Illinois here, I'm not seeing the Gophers inside the top 25, especially if Iowa and Wisconsin win, because it wasn't a convincing win whatsoever, and they will have to do a lot of catch-up here. So going forward, I think if they can get out of this game with a win, I would absolutely be happy. And just focus on Iowa. Going into Iowa next week is going to be very difficult, even though they've had their noted offensive struggles. And their defense has been super solid against the run, and which is really going to be a challenge for the Gophers since they've been mostly reliant on the run all year. So another thing that I look for in the second half is the running backs to get going. Maybe add an extra O lineman on a couple of running plays. Get the 6-on-5 advantage on the O line, and neither of the running backs are anywhere close to their 100-yard consistency that they've been lately. So they need just about a perfect second half to keep that streak going.
As the Pride of Minnesota marching band wraps up, we will wrap up as well. Thank you for listening to the halftime show and on Radio K Sports, and we will send it shortly over to the second half.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the second half here on Radio K Sports in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm Trask Angel alongside Connor Mockney, Jack Bartlett, and Elias Thomas. I'm used to Jason Rutman being here, but he, being from Illinois, has family in town. He's enjoying the game with them, so we allowed him to take a day off.
Yeah, he requested it 2 weeks in advance. Don't worry.
All right, 15 minutes are on the clock. The Gophers are kicking it away. They'll kick towards that student section who was having some fun at halftime. And as fans return to their seats, this ball's in the air, and it's going to be caught just inside the goal line and will be brought back out. So Illinois will start once again from the 25-yard line. They lead 14-0, Connor. Second quarter, defense started to build a little momentum, giving the ball to the offense. Offense couldn't close that last drive. What has to change here? Anything defensively that needs to change?
I don't think so. I think, just staying true to what they've been doing. But I would like to see some sort of defensive score here to kind of get us on the board because obviously the offense hasn't been as reliable.
Peters in shotgun. He'll fake the handoff, roll right. Throws out, and it's caught and pulled in at the 29-yard line. Catch was made by number 1, Isaiah Williams, the redshirt freshman. It's going to be second and about 5 for Illinois.
Nice job tackling there by Justin Wally, as he had a scoop and score last week against Northwestern, so look for him to get a little more involved.
Substitutions for the Gophers, 14:35 and counting. 2nd and 6 officially for Illinois. Peters under center, I formation. Hands to Brown. Brown has a seam. Brown hit hard, still on his feet, and he'll get the first down as he's up to the 36-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the right hash for Illinois.
Good stop there. Look to see Illinois get back to that run game, as they've had quite a bit of success with that run game throughout the first half.
Justice Harris, the DB, number 21, back onto the field for the Gophers. 1st and 10 from the Illinois 36. Tight end stacked on the left, 2 receivers wide. Peters under center. Brown 8 yards back. They'll snap. He'll hand off to Brown. Brown right side. Brown hit, but keeps the legs moving. It's a pickup of about 7. He's 2nd and short with 13:40 left in the 3rd quarter.
Brown runs hard. He keeps his legs churning, as you said there. And he's tough to bring down. It's not that he's shifty, it's just he's a big back, so it's hard to bring him down on first contact.
2nd and 3 from the 43. Illinois on the right hash on Illinois' side of the field. 3 receivers to the left in front of the Gopher bench. Brown behind Peters. Peters under center. Peters hands to Brown. Brown up the middle. Brown hit hard and held short of the first down. So it's going to be 3rd and 1, and we've seen the Gopher defense stand strong on a couple of these 3rd and short situations so far today. Let's see if they can muster out one more to start the 3rd quarter. Illinois goes 1 back, 3 receivers. Peters under center. Peters, quarterback sneak. Peters with the initial push no good, but the secondary push is going to get him there. That whole pile moved forward and got him the first down. So it'll be a 1st and 10 for Illinois, as they are nearing the 50-yard line. Couple substitutions for both teams. Among others, Drew Treadway, D lineman, back onto the field for the Gophers. He comes in for Trill Carter, number 99. Illinois, 2 receivers left. Nobody on the right. Tight end stacked left. Peters under center. Peters fakes the handoff. Peters with a pocket. Peters floats it over the middle. Brown catches. Brown dives forward. Brown gets himself to the Gopher 47 for a 2nd and 4 for Illinois.
That pass was floated right over the head of Rashad Cheney, who was in the vicinity there, but nice little float pass, did just narrowly miss an interception.
11:50 and counting in the 3rd quarter. Illinois leads by 14. The clouds have rolled in here in Minneapolis. As Illinois is under center once again. 2 receivers right, 1 left. They'll motion a man across into a tight end now. Brown will get the handoff. Brown looking to go up the middle. Brown churns forwards, and he'll have another first down. And 1st and 10 for the Fighting Illini. Now up to the Gopher 43-yard line.
These small little chunk plays are getting them some first downs and pushing Minnesota's defense back. So let's see if they can get some sort of stop for any more yards are gained.
1st and 10 heading towards Williams Arena. Peters under center. He'll bring a receiver across to the right side. He'll send him back to the left. Brown, 10 yards back. Hand off to Brown. Brown tries to go off tackle, and he's hit at the line and brought down. Gain of maybe 2, 2nd and long for Illinois.
Nice start, and first time we've called Oliver's name so far today as he was the one that came in and made that tackle.
Line change for Illinois as they'll bring on 4 or 5 new guys. Back into the game, Justice Harris, the DB. 10:25 and counting. Illinois looking to score first in the second half. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Tight end to the left of Peters in shotgun. Peters hands it, reverse. They're looking to throw. Nobody open. And the Gophers had that nicely covered. And that was Caleb Griffin, who received the pitch from running back Chase Brown and then looked to throw downfield. Nice coverage there. Jordan Howden was the nearest defender there and had his man covered tightly and forces 3rd and 8.
Would have been nice to have seen Howden turn around there for a second as the ball kind of floated on that pass, but incomplete nonetheless, and a 3rd and long for Illinois.
A loud Huntington Bank Stadium as it's 3rd and long for Illinois. 2 receivers to the right, 1 left. Peters claps in shotgun, looking to throw. Peters brought down before he gets rid of it. A sack for the Golden Gopher defense, and it's 4th down and long.
Looked to be number 9, Isaiah Tomowo, with his first sack of the day. First sack for the Gophers, actually. So nice job by the defense of not breaking on that drive after giving up some yards.
Otomeo, the first time we've called his name today, but such a huge player and a key component of that Gopher defense throughout the season. And he comes up big as the Gophers needed a stop there. The punt is away for Illinois. It's going to be fair caught at the Gopher 11, just above the number 10 on the Gopher half of the field. And the Gophers will start from the right hash. 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line with 9:27 left in the 3rd quarter. We'll pause here at Huntington Bank Stadium, and we'll take this opportunity to get some more insight from Jack Bartlett. Jack, what do you got for us?
Hey, Trask. So I have a little player profile here, actually. Derek LeCaptain, number 35, the 6'2", 235 linebacker, a redshirt sophomore from Gardner, Wisconsin. A walk-on this year, is now the 3rd running back on the depth chart. And as we saw in the Northwestern game, he got some action when that game was in the Gophers' control, and he actually ended up getting a touchdown. He hasn't been used much in today's game. He was mostly used as a linebacker earlier this season, but with Potts and Moe and now Bryce Williams going down with injuries, he's as PJ Fleck keeps harping on, the next man up. And I think I'd like to see the Gopher offense maybe give the ball to him. Being 6'2", 235, he's a lot heavier than both of the running backs. So maybe 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, those short yardage, he might be better equipped to get a fullback dive or a halfback dive up the gut just to get 1 yard. So I think the offense would be maybe helped by getting the captain involved. And he was offered a scholarship as a walk-on on August 18th this year, and so shout out to Derek LeCaptain for his first career college touchdown.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jack, for the player profile. We'll take a break here on Radio K Sports, about 60 seconds to hear from our Radio K DJs, and we'll be back right after this.
silver night. Well, it's alright, it's alright. You're taking a look outside. It's a blue world, blue world. Even if you're colorblind, it's still a blue world, blue world.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Radio K Sports, live from Huntington Bank Stadium. Jack Bartlett, Elias Thomas, Connor Mockney, alongside of myself, Trask Angel. We are excited to bring you the second half of Gopher football, hosting the Illinois Fighting Illini. Gophers trailing 0-14, but plenty of time left. 9:27 left in the third quarter. First and 10 from the Gopher 11. It's their first possession of the second half. After being shut out in the first half, we'll see what they've done in the locker room to correct some of the mistakes they've had. First down, they're going to hand to Irving. Irving find a seam, and I correct that. It's number 8, Kai Thomas. Thomas has been in the game a lot more than Irving today, Connor. Anything that you've seen or heard that would suggest why they made the switch from Irving to Thomas?
I have not heard anything about it. This is news to me. You'd think maybe they'd go a little bit of a even set with these two, but I guess not.
9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Second and 2. Morgan shotgun. Hands to Thomas. Thomas gets to the edge, but it looks like he maybe got tripped up. So it'll be a gain of 1, maybe 2. Clock has been stopped by the referees as they signal it ahead. It's going to be a Golden Gopher first down. So 2 plays into their first possession of the second half. The Gophers have a first down. See if they can sustain this as they still have 79 yards to go for a score. 8:35 and counting as it's first and 10 for the Golden Gophers. Morgan shotgun, receiver on the right, 2 on the left. Morgan fakes the handoff, has a pocket, slant over the middle, incomplete, immediately covered by the Illini defense. Looks like number 21, Martin, the D-back for Illinois with the coverage.
And that one was intended for Daniel Jackson too. So I mean, he had that one catch earlier in the game, but that's been it for him.
Morgan's missed him, I think, twice. He missed him on the big throw down the field, and then there was another play that Morgan had a bad throw. And Jack Bartlett is telling me that it's 3 times. 8:25 left to play. Second down. Morgan fakes the handoff. Morgan looking to throw. Has to run right. Nice secondary block. He's going to throw sideline, and they can't quite rein it in. Chris Ottman-Bell laid out on the sideline trying to drag a foot and couldn't quite grab that ball as Morgan got flushed pretty quickly, and now we have an injured Illini on the field.
His helmet's like a couple yards away from him. So I wonder what happened here.
So we'll take a break here on Radio K Sports as we're going to hear from Jack Bartlett again while we wait for this injury to be sorted out. 8:18 left in the third quarter. Gophers trail 0-14 to the Fighting Illini. We'll welcome on Jack Bartlett once again to the show. Jack, what do you got for us?
Yeah, another scoreboard update here for you. Obviously, the only other Big Ten game that's in play right now is Ohio State and Nebraska. Ohio State up 17-10 at halftime. You might have expected Ohio State to be pulling away. That's still a tight game. You never know. Nebraska could upset them. And other than that, around the rest of college football, Missouri had a tough matchup against Georgia, to say the least. Georgia's up 26-3. Doesn't seem like that game's going to go anywhere. Probably the game of the day right now is Wake Forest against North Carolina. Wake Forest put up 31 points in a half, and North Carolina answered that by putting up 24 of their own. So it's not much defense going on there. Not in the Big 12, but still not much defense. Ole Miss is up 24-7 against Liberty, and Pitt also put up 30 in the first half, and they're up 30-19 against Duke. Other than that, looking forwards, again, like I said, there's a lot of Big Ten games here at the 2:30 time range. Michigan State and Purdue, Wisconsin and Rutgers, Penn State and Maryland, and then Iowa Northwestern and Indiana Michigan tonight at 6 and 6:30. And then I guess looking ahead to next week in the Big Ten, we will be visiting Iowa, so we will not have a broadcast, but definitely be watching that game. That's a very critical game, especially if we win this one. That Iowa game is going to be a really solid one. Maryland plays against Michigan State. Purdue plays Ohio State. Michigan plays previously ranked Penn State, which maybe would have been a better matchup like 3 weeks ago or something like that. Wisconsin is playing Northwestern, and then Rutgers against Indiana. So a lot of Big Ten action happening in these next 2 weeks, and especially when it comes down to the last week of the season with all the rivalry matchups. We'll end up playing against Wisconsin here at home, and it's to be determined if I'm going to be here in the broadcast booth every time I've been here. We've won a game, so if we win this game, I'm probably going to be here again. I got to be here.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jack, for the scoreboard update and look ahead in the schedule. Yeah, the Gophers right now in control of their own destiny. If they can win out the rest of the season, they will be crowned Big Ten West champions and have a chance to play down in Indianapolis. But we have to take care of this game first, as we're down 0-14 to the Fighting Illini, who have been tough in a lot of their games this season. And obviously the record-setting 9 overtime game against Penn State, who was ranked top 10 at the time. So we are at the end of our media timeout here. 8:18 left to go in the third quarter. The Golden Gophers are 3rd and 10 from their own 21. Looks like they're going to go Kai Thomas to the right of Morgan, with Ottman Bell alone in front of the Gopher bench to the right of Morgan, and to the left of Morgan, we'll have 3 receivers spaced evenly all the way to the numbers. Ball's back in play. Morgan looks to his left, claps his hands. Now he'll look to the sideline. 27 to snap. He gets the ball, looking to throw. Sends it downfield to Ottman Bell. Ottman Bell gets hit as the ball comes in. The crowd wants a flag. Ottman Bell has not gotten up yet, as he's laying at the Illinois 45. And, man, a lot of...
They did
throw a flag. I don't know where the flag is even.
It's back behind the line of scrimmage.
Okay, so we had a flag come out, and I think that's a good call, as number 6, Tony Adams of Illinois, was all over Ottman Bell, and then you had a safety come in late on Ottman Bell as well. Unfortunately for the Gophers, they did get the call, but Ottman Bell is still down on the sideline.
Yeah, that was not a good hit at all. Looking at that replay, that was scary, especially when you're falling back. And they actually called a roughing the passer on the penalty there. So it wasn't even on the safety hitting Ottman Bell. It was roughing the passer behind the play. That explains why the flag would be back behind the line of scrimmage.
So we're watching the replay right now, and the call was against... Oh, yeah. And so number 92, Isaiah Gay, who actually went down earlier in this game, back in. He gets Tanner Morgan in the face mask, so roughing the passer is called there. I think that we should have a pass interference call against
Agreed.
the defense. But regardless, the Gophers do get a call, and it bails them out of 4th and 10. So they're going to get 1st and 10, fresh set of downs at their own 36, as they wait for the training staff to tend to Chris Ottman Bell.
He's at least sitting up, which is good.
And now they've got him up and walking. Hopefully not anything too serious. He definitely took a hard hit as he went down to catch that ball. And they will walk him over to the tent. You have to imagine that concussion protocol is probably going to take effect, and they'll check him out for that, as he looks to be walking fine, no limp or anything like that. So we'll wait to hear what the status is of Chris Ottman Bell, but for now, the Gophers are 1st and 10 from their own 32. Morgan, shotgun, will look sideline. He'll have a running back to his right, 2 receivers near side. He's going to hand to Thomas. Thomas has a lane. Thomas gets hit. Thomas falls forward. Thomas is just short of a first down, a pickup of 9, and he's across the 45 for 2nd and 1.
Nice play there coming off of the little timeout. But, you know, that's exactly what we're looking for. Maybe string a few more of those type of runs together and keep marching down the field and get this running game going.
2nd and we'll say 1 at the very most. Morgan in shotgun, has Thomas to his right, receiver to the far side. 2 receivers bunched on the left. They'll send a man in motion. They'll hand it to Thomas. Thomas bounces it outside. Thomas gets hit, but it's too late because he's got a first down at the 49.
Nice play there. Thomas is starting to get his legs going a little bit here, and he's got some good runs and some good lanes to run through as well from this offensive line.
1st and 10 from the Illinois 49. 7:20 and counting. Thomas stays in the game. Morgan will be to his left. Keith, the tight end, stacked on the right side, receiver out wide on either end. Illinois with 3 down linemen and 2 outside showing pressure. Safety over the top. Morgan snaps, hands to Thomas. Thomas bounces it to the left. And we have a flag in the backfield. So Thomas, as of now, is tackled at the 44, and it would be 2nd and 5. But we have a flag down. And holding is going to be called against the Golden Gophers. And it is against number 48 of the Golden Gophers. And we don't have a 48, so
Don't worry.
We're going to find out who it's actually on here.
We'll get it figured out. No big deal.
6:57 left as the referees will spot this ball at the 42 of Minnesota. Check that 41. Minnesota will hand the ball off. And Marquise Irving will find a seam and fall forward to the 49-yard line of Minnesota. So he's going to cut this down from 1st and 20 to now 2nd and 12.
First time we've called his name in this half, so maybe we'll see a little bit more of him as his drive continues.
Brady Boyd coming off the field as Minnesota makes a few substitutions. Morgan in shotgun. He'll look right and left and now check the sideline. He's got a receiver either side, a tight end to his left. He's going to look to throw, slant across the middle. Defender was there early, and a good call there from the back judge.
That defender was draped all over him, and that was an easy call.
Brown Stevens still almost caught the ball on that slant, but the D-back for Illinois obviously there early, and we will have pass interference against the Fighting Illini, and we will walk this ball up to the 40-yard line, it looks like.
Bails us out of the 2nd and long.
And it will give the Golden Gophers a first down as they're at the 40.5-yard line, just beyond the Illinois, and the 39.5-yard line. Morgan now in shotgun with 4 fresh sets. Thomas tries to get outside, hit hard, but keeps his feet, and he's going to pick up a gain of about 5 or 6.
Kind of ran through a defender there, really put the boom down on him. So that was a good play, nice little chunk play on first down, and good job there from Thomas.
That pass interference against Illinois was 31 Witherspoon. Minnesota looking to capitalize on the pass interference. They're 2nd and short. Morgan shotgun. Receiver out wide right, 2 to the left. He's going to snap, hand to Thomas. Thomas stutter steps in the backfield and chops his feet all the way to the 29, maybe 30-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Golden Gophers with 5:14 left to play in the 3rd.
Let's see what they potentially will go with the run as Morgan stays on the field. So we'll see what they call here.
Randolph Jr., D lineman for Illinois, checking off the field. Receiver out wide for the Gophers on the left. Morgan shotgun. Morgan is going to fake the handoff. He gives it. And it'll be an easy first down for the Golden Gophers. Again, it's Kai Thomas with the carry. And I thought Morgan pulled that ball out and was going to run it himself.
I thought so too, and he would have had a first down anyway because that offensive line got a really good push on that Illinois front and gave plenty of space for the running back to run through.
Tackle made by number 30, Sidney Brown, the DB for Illinois. But it's not in time as Minnesota's 1st and 10 from the 26. Morgan shotgun. Morgan hands to Marquise Irving. Irving gets back to the line of scrimmage as he's tackled out of bounds, but we have a flag on the play, and it's going to be a hold called against the Golden Gophers. And so that'll back them up about 10 yards. And so we're going to be first down and 20. And the hold is called on number 78, Falele. Falele 6'9", 380, a senior on this team. So clock is stopped at 4:22 as we set this ball back to the 36. And the Gophers, with 2 holding penalties on this series, has really forced them to fight uphill. So far, they've been able to get out of it. But now 1st and 20, Morgan and the Gopher offense is going to have to go 20 yards for the first. Morgan hands to Thomas. Thomas cuts back, and just as he's breaking a tackle, gets tripped up, and he'll gain just a couple as we click under 4 in the 3rd.
Yeah, those holding penalties are killer for any drive, and when you have 2 in the same drive, I mean, it's going to be hard to continue to bail yourself out.
Number 30, Sidney Brown of Illinois on the tackle. As Gophers will set up in shotgun. 2 receivers to the right of Morgan, 1 out to the left in front of the Illinois bench. Illinois with 6 in the box. Morgan fakes the handoff, nice pocket, throws over the middle, and throws behind the receiver, number 14, Brady Boyd. Boyd had a step, but Morgan just threw back shoulder, and it's broken up by number 6, Tony Adams of Illinois. So now you got 3rd and long. You thinking chunk play for a field goal here, or are you thinking you're 2-down territory?
I would assume chunk play for a field goal. If it continues to be, a 4th and long, then we got some problems.
Empty backfield. Morgan looks sideline. 3 receivers right, 2 left. 1 safety over the top. Morgan looking to throw. Illinois brings pressure. Morgan escapes. Morgan throws, and it's caught on the sideline. It's short of a first down, but a great catch by number 22 of the Golden Gophers. It's Mike Brown-Stevens, the redshirt sophomore, with the catch.
Looks like the offense is staying on the field here, too.
And the Gophers looking to capitalize on the momentum of this drive, as it's going to be 4th down at about 6 or 7. So it's going to be 4th down and 6 officially. Irving is going to come out wide. They're going to have 2 receivers to the right, 3 to the left. Morgan, no back, will look to throw with 2:48 on the clock. Illinois 3-down lineman, and Illinois is going to call a timeout. So 2:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Golden Gophers are 4th and 6 from the Illinois 22, and they are, as of now, lined up to go for it on 4th down, down 14-0. Before we take a break here on Radio K Sports, we'll welcome back on Jack Bartlett to the program. Jack, what do you got?
So this drive has been kind of a mess for the Gophers. 2 holding penalties. That's I think our 3rd and 4th holding penalties, and all of the penalties thus far for the Gophers have come on the offense. 1 false start and 4 holdings. So obviously that run game, you always run the risk of getting a holding penalty, especially when the running backs like Irving and Thomas bounce outside. That's where Falele got called, because he bounced outside and held the defensive lineman to try and get him a couple extra yards there. But this 4th and 6,
I don't know about the call of going for it. Trickett did miss that field goal earlier in the game. That was from 47 or 48 or something like that. I think if they lined it up here, it would be about 22, 32, about a 37 to 40 yard field goal. And I just don't know if Fleck has his confidence in his kicker, or so this is a critical decision. Again, like I said, this third quarter has been a struggle for us all year. With 2:45 left, if we turn the ball over here, it's not likely we're going to get it back until deep into the fourth quarter, and Illinois will just start running the ball. And if they can get 4 yards of play, like they've been doing throughout some of this game, obviously not at the end of the second quarter, but if they can keep getting 4 yards per play, there's nothing that the Gopher offense can do but hope the defense gets a good stop.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jack, for the insight. We'll take a break here on Radio K Sports, about 90 seconds to listen to our Radio K DJs, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Trask Angel alongside Connor Mockney, Jack Bartlett, and Elias Thomas. We got 2:45 on the clock in the third quarter. The Golden Gophers are 4th and 6 on the Illinois 22, and they are going to go for it. Morgan in shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his left, 2 to the right. Safety over the top for Illinois. Morgan looks sideline. He's going to come back. Now he'll look sideline again. 10 to snap for Minnesota. He'll make some adjustments at the line. Everyone stays where they are. Morgan snaps. Morgan has a pocket. Morgan looking to throw. Morgan is sacked. That pocket collapsing pretty quickly, and the Golden Gophers are unsuccessful on 4th down for the second time today. And 2:39 left. Illinois will get the ball back on their own 29-yard line.
I mean, worst case scenario right there just occurred. Can't take a sack. I mean, it's 4th down. Got to have some better protection. Now the defense is going to have even more on their hands.
Illinois offense out on the field. 1st and 10. Defense looking for another stop. They've looked really good since about 14:55 left in the second quarter. Under center's Peters. He's going to hand this ball off tackle, and he's hit at the line and brought down for a gain of about 3. The carry was by Josh McCray.
Interesting to see McCray get a couple of touches here. He's a freshman out of Alabama, so we'll see if they try to maybe divvy up a little bit more to keep Brown fresh.
2:15 to play in the third quarter. Illinois up 14-0 over the Golden Gophers. Minnesota getting lined up a little bit late on defense. Jack Gibbons calling out a few plays. Wildcat for Illinois. They'll fake the handoff and run up the middle and hit hard for a gain of maybe 1. Isaiah Williams, your wide receiver / quarterback on the play with the run. And he's got nowhere to go as the Golden Gopher defense quickly forces 3rd down and long.
Let's see a little bit of pressure here as well. Maybe force a decision if Illinois decides to pass, but they're going to take their time getting up to the line.
1:30 and counting. Illinois, 3rd and 6 on their own 33. They'll motion a man across. Peters, shotgun. Peters claps. Peter has the ball. Peters looking to pass, throws downfield, and it's caught down the Gopher sideline at about the 43-yard line. In coverage was number 2, Philip Howard for the Golden Gophers, and Illinois is able to get a first down.
And on that play, that was one of their first big passing plays of the game, and that flipped the field position there too, so now they're in Minnesota territory.
Peters in shotgun. He'll make an adjustment at the line. Brown to his right, 2 receivers right. He'll hand to Brown. Brown trying to go off tackle, breaks a tackle, and will get himself up to the 39-yard line for a first down.
Starting to find a few holes to the outside there is Illinois, and they're starting to get some big chunk plays on this defense.
Minnesota with a substitution. Illinois still in the huddle. 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Illinois up 14-0. Illinois under center. Receiver out wide on either side. Motions a man across. They'll hand to Brown. Brown doesn't have very far to go, and we have 2 flags on the field. So as it stands now, it's going to be 2nd and 7 for Illinois. With 20 seconds remaining, we'll wait to see what the referee has to say. Holding is called on the offense. One of the first penalties we've seen on this Illinois offense today.
Agreed. They've been pretty disciplined so far today.
So with that hold, it backs up Illinois to the Gopher 43-yard line. So it's going to be first down and 20. From the 42-yard line. 10 seconds remaining in the quarter. We'll see if they decide to snap. Peters under center. Brown will step up a few yards. And 1 second remaining, and Illinois will let the clock expire. So a scoreless third quarter for both teams. Scoreboard reads 14-0, and Illinois still leads here in Minneapolis. The Golden Gopher offense struggling to finish the drive at the end of the second and third quarters. We'll see what they can do in the fourth, but before we do, we'll hear once again from Jack Bartlett. Jack, what do you got for us?
So as we've seen throughout this whole game, almost next to nothing working on offense. Morgan is 7 of 17 for 76 yards. Kramer has that 1 pass for 20. Only 102 rushing yards on 27 attempts, which granted is an average around 3.6, but we can't be averaging 3.6 yards a carry and confidently run the ball down the field. And especially on that last play, Sam Schluter, the O-lineman, had a one-on-one matchup against number 99, Owen Carney Jr., and Carney forced Schluter into the backfield almost immediately, got around him, and was able to sack Morgan. So this game hasn't been entirely Morgan's fault. He's been feeling pressure pretty consistently all day, but part of that responsibility falls on the play calling and calling for short, choppy passes to get 4 or 5 yards to get Illinois to maybe respect the throw, play a little more zone, give the O-line time to develop blocks. But, I mean, as we've seen, not many deep passes have been working. Lots of penalties, lots of holdings on offense during the run game, and the defense needs a stop here to keep us in this game. And even a field goal could put us away. That's a 3-score deficit with just a little bit of time left in the fourth quarter here. And with the Gophers' heavy running attack, that's going to waste a lot of time. And with Illinois' heavy running attack, that's also going to waste a lot of time. So we're going to have to start going downfield real fast if Illinois scores. But if we could get like a turnover right now, it would be the perfect thing to get some Gopher momentum going. And we'll see what happens here in the fourth quarter.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jack. We'll take a break here on Radio K Sports and listen to some music from our Radio K DJs. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Radio K Sports, ready to bring you the fourth quarter live from Huntington Bank Stadium. I'm Trask Angel alongside Connor Mockney and our sideline reporters, Jack Bartlett and Elias Thomas. 13 seconds left of the media timeout. The sun has returned for the fourth quarter, and the fans are up and ready to go, desperately looking for some points for this Minnesota offense, who has not really had any trouble scoring points this season. So we'll see what they can do here in the fourth quarter, as they had a drive put together in that third quarter but unable to finish it off. Illinois with the ball now. First down and 20, heading towards the student section. Under center, fakes the handoff, looking to throw, and they'll throw it into the ground and incomplete. Peters had pressure. Peters was backpedaling, and the Gophers forced second down and 20.
Yeah, one of the very few times that Peters has had to make a quick decision in the past. A, because they haven't passed very much, and B, there hasn't been too much pressure put on them by this defensive line.
Minnesota has Illinois backed up, second and 20. Peters in shotgun. Brown to his left. Three receivers to the right. They'll hand the ball off. He's hit at the line, and he falls forward for maybe a yard. It's going to be third down and 18 from the Gopher 39-yard line.
Need a big stop here and to not give up really any big chunk of yardage here, because you don't want to go down 3 scores with a potential field goal if the does get to that point.
14:33 to play. Minnesota down by 14 to the Fighting Illini at home. Huntington Bank Stadium on their feet. Two receivers to the right. Peters under center. He's got a tight end to his right and a back in Brown, 8 yards back. They're going to hand to Brown. Brown trying to get to the edge. Brown has nowhere to go. Brown stuffed at the line. The clock's going to keep running, and it's going to be fourth down and long from the 40-yard line.
Good job not giving up any sort of yardage there, so that a field goal is pretty much taken out of the equation.
Golden Gophers force a fourth down and 18 from the Fighting Illini following a holding call. And the Illini lined up to punt. They'll be punting from the Gopher 46-yard line on that left hash. Minnesota with a man back at the 10. It's Annexted. 13:30 on the snap. This ball kicked kind of weird and into the end zone, just past the pylon. And the Minnesota Golden Gophers will get to bring it out here and have decent field position. So you've got 13-24. You're down by 14. Your defense has looked outstanding for about 3 quarters now. On offense, are you hustling on this series, or do you want to hustle on your second series?
I say hustle now. I mean, last series took up quite a bit of time off the clock, and you kind of need to score quickly, so I say hustle now.
2 receivers to the right, 1 left. Brevin span forward, the tight end on the right side. Morgan shotgun. He has Kai Thomas to his right. He's going to hand to Kai Thomas, and they're going to run it up the middle for a gain of maybe 1. And the Boo Birds are out here at Huntington Bank Stadium, frustrated with no points today, as the Gophers will sub out Brady Boyd. And the Gophers taking their time here. Just under 13 minutes to play. Gophers in shotgun. Thomas to his right. Span forward to the right of Morgan on the line. 2 receivers right, no left. Fake the handoff, looking to throw. Morgan chopping in the pocket. Morgan looking to run. Morgan takes a sack back at the 15-yard line.
Think it's time for a switch.
And the Gophers are now 3rd and 15 with 12:20 to play.
I mean, I guess there's nowhere to really go on that, but I mean, you can't be taking a sack in that situation. At least try to throw it away.
Golden Gophers in shotgun once again. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Kai Thomas to the right of Morgan. 12 minutes to play. Morgan looks sideline. Morgan standing on the 10. Morgan looking to throw. Morgan back up to the 1 yard line. Morgan lets it fly as he's hit and throws it to the Illinois bench. And 11:53 to play, 4th and 15. The Gopher offense goes 3 and out to a lot of boos from this crowd who is expecting a lot more from this offense today.
Agreed. I mean, the past few games you've been putting up 40-plus, 30-plus points. And today, obviously, nothing through, with 11:53 left to go in the fourth. So definitely not something or the kind of showing you're looking for.
Punt is away. Line drive punt, not a very good one. And it's going to roll a little bit and picked up before it's done rolling.
There seems to be a little bit of a scuffle towards midfield there.
It's going to be 1st down and 10 for Illinois from the 46-yard line. They'll be on the right hash, heading towards the student section. And we're going to have a media timeout called here. So 11:43 left in the game. Gophers are down 14-0. And they've just gone 3 and out on offense. And the defense will be back out on the field before we go to break. We'll hear from Jack Bartlett. Jack, what do you got?
Yeah, so obviously just another disappointing offensive drive from the Gophers. Not much going. A sack taken by Tanner Morgan. He maybe could have thrown that away, but didn't look like it really mattered since he didn't get any positive yardage on the next play. I mean, this offensive showing has come out of nowhere. The Gophers were putting up consistent points against Northwestern, and pretty much every one of their opponents, they've scored 20. Actually, every one of their opponents but the Bowling Green Calamity, we have scored 20 points, or at least put up a touchdown on the board, or at least put up points by this point. And I don't know what the offense is doing wrong or what they could even fix. They didn't look like they made any changes heading into the half. Just keep doing what you're doing, and maybe it'll work eventually. But it just doesn't look like it's working right now. And frankly, something needs to change, especially after this showing today. It shows that our offense is heavily reliant on how good the defense is at stopping the run. And if the defense, like Illinois, has done a phenomenal job today of bottling the Gophers up on the run. They've allowed them 97 rushing yards with Morgan taking that sack. That's another negative yardage. And 96 yards passing for the Gophers. Morgan's not really able to find anything open downfield. The O-line, which we've praised in past games, has not been nearly as strong as it has been this game. In pass blocking especially, Morgan's been feeling pressure quite a bit and early in the snap count. And so, I mean, if they do end up losing this game, I don't know what, as a head coach, I think you have to analyze what your offense looks like. And I think you have to look at your playbook, look at what happened in this game and say, well, where did we go wrong and how do we fix it? Because the team that we're playing next has one of the best defenses in the entire nation. And if you're going up a team that has the best defense in the nation compared to Illinois' defense, it's going to be a real uphill battle in Iowa. So I don't know. Go for the offense has just got to get something figured out.
All right, thank you, Jack. We have about 20 seconds left of our media timeout, 11:43 in the game. I want to remind you to check out the Sports Hour podcast, 6 to 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. And also invite you guys to like and subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll get notified anytime we go live, not just with football, but volleyball, basketball, hockey, and in the spring, baseball and softball. And we also want to encourage anyone who is interested in joining Radio K Sports, feel free to reach out and contact us via the email, radioksports@gmail.com, or you can go to radiok.org and find our contact there. We're done with the media timeout. 1st and 10 for Illinois. They're under center. They're going to hand to Brown, and Brown swarmed at the line. No gain on the play, maybe a loss.
Late flag, too. Looks like it's going to be on the tight end for Illinois for hitting one of our defenders.
So right now we have 2nd and 11 with the clock stopped at 11:36. As Connor said, flag on the play. We await to hear what the official word is from head referee. And so after the play, we have a personal foul on number 87 of this Illinois offense. That's going to be Daniel Barker, the tight end, just as Connor said. So that'll back them up 15 yards, and it will still be second down. So now you're looking at quite a sizable chunk here for this Illinois offense and this Gopher defense with some uncommon safety net in this game. They have had some pretty tight margins they've had to deal with all game. And so they have a little bit of yardage to play with here. Illinois under center. They're going to hand to Brown. Brown hit again, and then he swarmed. Sorry, Marin on the tackle, among others. Looks like Jack Gibbons, the other linebacker, was the first one there. And the Golden Gophers back-to-back plays have stopped this run attack on the line. And Minnesota now forcing 3rd and 24 for the Illinois Fighting Illini. 10:50 to play. The student section chop has begun as this Illinois offense is facing them down, hoping for a big play here. In shotgun is Peters. Brown to his right. 3 receivers left. Peters looking to throw. He's going to hand it off instead. Big run up the middle, but he won't even get back to the original first down. And we have another little pile that's getting pushed around after the play, but everyone seems to disperse on their own without the referee's help. So Illinois gets up to the 45, but they're going to be 4th and 11. So clock's at 10:10 and counting. Minnesota's going to get the ball back just under 10 minutes here. You have all 3 timeouts. You only have to score twice here. This is plenty of time. This offense has been given another opportunity to score. Let's see what they can do. Illinois snaps. Punt is away. Decent punt. Going to be caught at the 15, 14-yard line. So Minnesota will fair catch at the 14. And that's where they will start on the right hash. 1st and 10, down by 14.
Should be noted that maybe we will see a little bit of, potentially a change at quarterback because Morgan hasn't been very efficient. Now the line hasn't given him, plenty of time, but still at this point, you got to get something kick-started. So whether that means you put Kramer in for a little bit longer, maybe there's someone else on the bench that you want to go to. You got to find something to kick-start this offense because it's really been lackluster to say the least.
Both teams huddled up here as we have a media timeout at Huntington Bank Stadium. Before we go to our Radio K DJs, we'll hear from Jack Bartlett once again. Jack, welcome back.
Yeah, so just a little drive summary here, at least, for Illinois. Obviously, their first 2 drives resulted in touchdowns. The first one was 8 plays for 49 yards. Second one, 11 plays for 86 yards. Since then, their longest drive has been 27 yards, and actually just a recent one, and then I just saw, was 31 yards. But other than that, the defense has forced, now that is their 6th punt, and 1 drive obviously ending at the half. 6 punts and a half in a row is about all you could ask for from a defense. I couldn't have asked for anything more, minus those 2 early touchdowns. In terms of the Gopher offense, on the other hand, they had the deflected interception on the first drive, a 3-and-out on the second, turnover on downs on the third. When they were marching down the field, they had 53 yards gained on that one. A punt with 30 yards, another 3-and-out punt, the field goal attempt from Trickett that missed, another turnover on downs, a drive that lasted 15 plays for 60 yards for 6 minutes and 48 seconds of possession that didn't result in any points. That's a lot of time that's ticked off of the clock just on 1 drive. And then obviously another 3-and-out the last drive. So Gopher offense, the exact opposite, like I said during the last break, of what we wanted and what we were looking for in this game. And the Gopher defense has again proved that they can hold up under stress. They can make adjustments very well. They can hold opposing offenses to 2 scores. And our offense, if you're a college offense, you should probably be able to put up 2 scores sometime. But nonetheless, we are stuck here down 14-0 with 1 less turnover, or 1 less first down, than Illinois has. We have 14 and they have 15. Time of possession is actually not in our favor yet. We're at 24-10, and if this drive continues for a while, obviously we will surpass them, and they're at 28 minutes about. In terms of the total yardage, Illinois is at 234. We're at 193, still not over 100 yards in rushing or passing. And Illinois is obviously the rush heavy, 154 yards and 80 yards in the passing. So we got to score on this drive. I'm just going to be blunt with it. We have to.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Got anything else for us, Jack?
Nope, that's all I got to say.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much, Jack Bartlett, for joining us once again during the media timeout. With that, the Gopher offense has taken the field, and they're ready to go. 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line. Morgan in shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 right. He's got Thomas to his right. He'll look sideline. 9:45 to play in this game. Morgan, shotgun, looking to throw over the middle. Caught. 1st down and a little bit more. Minnesota with a pass over the middle and a catch by number 88, Brevin Spanford. And this Gopher offense will be 1st and 10 from the right hash on the 26. Morgan in shotgun, 3 receivers left, 1 right. Thomas in the backfield, Thomas to the flats. Morgan throws low, but it's caught and reined in for a gain of about 4 for Minnesota. They'll start from the left hash on the 30.
A couple of quick plays here for Minnesota. 1 for a 1st down and 1 for a medium gain. And let's see if maybe there's open something up downfield in a couple plays.
3 receivers right, 1 left. Thomas to the left of Morgan in shotgun, 2nd and 6. Morgan looking to throw. Morgan has a pocket. Morgan throws sideline. And a dangerous throw as it's broken up and batted away from Brown Stevens. Tight coverage there by Illinois. Maybe had a step on him, but man, great defense by Illinois to force 3rd and 6. Now the Gophers have to make a decision as they're going to go trips right, 2 receivers left, no back. Illinois with a deep safety near the 50-yard line. Corners pressed on either receiver on the edge. Morgan looks right. He's going to look sideline with 6 to snap, make an adjustment. 3, 2, 1. He'll get the snap off. Looking to throw, has a pocket, throws downfield, and we got a flag.
Flags.
So the ball lands at about the 35 of Illinois. Brown Stevens was there attempting to grab the ball, and it looked like his left arm was going to be held almost that entire play. And so pass interference will be called against the Illinois defense, and it's going to be called against number 6, Tony Adams, the senior. And Minnesota will move up and have a 1st down. It was a good ball, good route. They had a step on him, and a good call by the referee. As Minnesota's now 1st down and 10. Morgan shotgun, throws over the middle. Thomas has it. Check that, Daniel Jackson with the catch. Jackson with the catch over the middle. He's going to be at the 49-yard line, right hash. 2nd and short for Minnesota.
Nice quick play there, too. Get a nice big chunk play, so now it's 2nd and very short.
This one is blown up at the line of scrimmage and lost a yard. So it's going to be 3rd down and 3 for Minnesota with 8:14 and counting in this game.
Tried to sneak a little run play past them after getting up to the line pretty quickly, but obviously Illinois was having none of that.
Trips right, 1 receiver left. Deep safety for Illinois. Morgan shotgun. Morgan in the pocket. Morgan looks to throw. Finds a man in the flats. 1st down and more. Flag comes out, though. 16 Dylan Wright with the catch and 1st down. We have a flag down at the 42-yard line on Illinois' half of the field. Referees will confer. So no foul on the play. Pass was touched behind the line of scrimmage, and the result is going to be a 1st down. So this Minnesota offense on the move, just under 8 minutes to play. They're going to go trips left with a receiver on the right. Morgan in shotgun. He'll have Thomas to his right. Morgan in shotgun, looks to throw, has a man over the middle. Breaks a tackle, fights for a little bit more. It's going to be close to a first down. At least a gain of 9. Brevin Spadenford with the catch. 2nd down and 1.
They've been going to Spanford quite a bit, especially with the absence of Ottman Bell.
Snap to Morgan and shotgun. They'll hand to Thomas. Thomas plunges forward. Thomas buries his head. And Thomas has a first down. Clock will stop at 7:28, and it's another Golden Gopher first down as they are now to the Illinois 26-yard line, 1st and 10.
More hurry-up offense.
Trips to the left. Receiver out wide right. Morgan shotgun. Morgan looking to throw. Lot of time. Morgan sends it downfield. Wide open man. Cut at the 10. Falls to the 9. 1st and goal. Golden Gophers.
Again, Spanford on that catch. He was wide open in the middle of the field, and they've been looking to him quite a bit here on this drive.
Clock at 7:07. Morgan shotgun. Gopher offense ready to go. Trips right. They'll fake the handoff. Morgan with pressure. Morgan on his feet. And he'll pick up 1, maybe 2. So it's going to be 2nd and goal from about the 8-yard line.
This is their first time in a goal-to-go situation on the day. So let's see if they decide maybe stick with a little bit of the run or if they're going to go to the pass into the end zone.
Spanford comes out of the game. Kokeeft will check in. They're going to go trips left. Kokeeft, the only receiver on the right side. He's just above the numbers. Morgan in shotgun. Thomas to his right. Morgan looking to pass. Has time. Morgan floats one to the corner. Caught as he's hit. And he's going to push forward. He's going to be short.
It's about the 2-yard line or so.
Great catch in the corner. 6:18. Clock will stop as he went out of bounds.
Oh, I think they're saying it's still going.
And now they're going to wind the clock. And just about a yard short. It was Brown Stevens with the catch. Minnesota's going to huddle up here. We don't see them do this very often. 6 minutes and counting. They'll break the huddle as Illinois makes a few late substitutions. Morgan, I formation. Kokeeft, the tight end on the left. Morgan sends Kokeeft right. Morgan hands to Thomas. Thomas hit in the backfield. Flag comes out, and he's going to be marked short regardless. So it's going to be 4th and goal from about the half-yard line, but we have a flag out. So clock is stopped at 5:45. Flag came from the line judge on the far side, on the Illinois side. 5:45 clock is stopped. As it stands, it's 4th and inches for the Golden Gopher offense. And offsides is called against the defense. So Illinois lined up offsides. It's going to be half the distance to the goal, and we'll go back to 3rd down. Let's see who jumped here. And it's going to be the nose guard, number 88. That's Randolph Jr. So the Gophers now 3rd and goal from the half-yard line. I formation, sends Kokeeft to the right. Morgan snaps, gives to Thomas. Thomas jumps. Thomas is short.
Why not just go up and over? You're half a yard away.
So it's going to be 4th down and almost a yard out. Gophers ran the exact same play. And now they're going to have to huddle up and talk about this as we're approaching the 5-minute mark.
I mean, at this point, why not just get a QB sneako up and over and get hopefully a push from your fullback?
Minnesota, same formation. 2 backs. Kokeeft on the left. Morgan under center. Sends him to the right. Morgan snaps. Morgan's going to keep it himself. Morgan running for the end zone, and he's in! Touchdown, Minnesota! The foot race to the goal line, and Tanner Morgan's the winner. Gophers on the board with 4:45 in the 4th quarter.
A little bit of a heart attack there, but Morgan was able to get the corner. They ran the same exact, almost the same exact play. Same formation, moved Kokeeft from left to right, had same formation going, and this time Morgan keeps it himself and takes it into the end zone.
Gophers lined up for the extra point, kicking towards Williams Arena. A little bit of a breeze on the field, not too bad. The snap, the hold, and the kick is no good. 4:49 left, so the Gophers are going to be 6-14. and the kick was just hooked left. And so the Gophers were going to have to score again anyways, but they'll have to go for 2 if it comes down to it to tie this thing up.
Yeah, that was just really unfortunate. Didn't look like it was any good from the start there, and Trickett misses it, and that's a valuable point lost.
With that, we'll take a media timeout here in Minneapolis. The Golden Gophers, with a nice drive and a score to finish, missed the extra point, so they'll trail 6-14 to the Fighting Illini. Before we go to break, we'll welcome back Jack Bartlett. Jack, what do you got for us?
Excellent drive by the Gophers to punch it in the end zone. It took a little longer than I would have liked, seeing them get stopped a couple times on the goal line, but a gutsy call by Tanner Morgan to keep that ball after lining up in the same formation 3rd time in a row, motioning Keefe to the right again. I think that was a brilliant play call, and I mean, if it wouldn't have worked, that would have been a horrible play call, but it did work, and I mean, that's tough for Trickett. Missing the extra point, that's 20-some yards. I'm sure the average high school soccer player could probably kick that one through the uprights 9 times out of 10. And when you're a professional, you can't miss those. That's a valuable point. And like Trask said, now a 2-point just gets us the tie and gets us hopefully overtime if we can march down the field again. But what I noticed in that drive, especially the hurry-up offense, was excellent. Morgan was consistently throwing 5 to 7 yards downfield and consistently completing passes in that distance. He took a couple shots downfield. Spanford, especially on that one that got us down near the 10, was wide open. So keeping that Illinois defense on their heels, and they even were putting 4 and 5 on the line when we were consistently throwing the ball. So they're still not confident in Tanner Morgan's ability to throw the ball, and that's where we have to attack. When we get the ball back here, with 4:49 left, Illinois, I anticipate, is just going to run 3 straight run plays until they're just going to keep running the ball until they can get a first down. So the Gophers obviously need the ball back, but the hurry-up offense worked better than the offense with planning and calling out a play thus far. And it's not like Illinois was sitting back in zone coverage and trying to prevent the long plays. They were pretty consistent from what I saw, loading mostly up in the box. And so great drive. Couldn't have asked for anything better from the Gopher offense to finally put some points on the board. Now just look to the defense that's been super solid thus far.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jack, for joining us during the media timeout. Again, 4:49 left to play in this game. The Golden Gophers hosting the Fighting Illini. They're down 6-14. Illinois has not scored since 14:55 in the second quarter. Minnesota gets ready to kick it away to this Illini offense. Connor, I think you have to expect, with the way things have gone, that this defense is going to be able to get a 3 and out, or at least get this
ball
offense
back
off the field pretty quickly, right? And so you got to, estimate you're going to have 3-ish minutes probably to go be able to score, right? And so Illinois having to burn a timeout early, so they only have 2 remaining. And this kick is a line drive. It's going to bounce at the 10 and roll and settle into the end zone. So it'll be a touchback for the Fighting Illini. And we'll see what this Gopher defense can do. They've been lights out this second half and essentially almost all the second quarter. We'll see what Illinois comes out with. The last couple drives, they've been pretty complacent with just kind of running the ball and taking some time off the clock. We'll see what they do here as they have 2 guys out wide left, 1 wide right. Peters under center. Peters will hand the ball to Brown. Brown, with a head of steam, will pick up about 4 yards, so it's going to be 2nd and 6 from the 29.
That's been pretty much what they've been doing. Like you said, they've been complacent with wanting to just take time off the clock and change the field position, because before last drive, Minnesota hadn't been able to drive down the field and end up in the end zone or with a field goal. And so I think Illinois is going to probably do much of the same.
Illinois breaks the huddle. 17 to snap. Peters is going to be under center with a receiver on either end. He's got a tight end to his right and Brown about 9 yards back. Peters sends a man across. Peters will hand the ball off. Peters will hold the ball. Peters will roll out. Peters will make a couple guys miss, and he'll get a quick first down with 4 minutes remaining.
Oh, he looks hurt, too. He's down after that hit that he took.
So
It looked to be a clean hit.
clock is going to stop with 3:59 to play in the game. And like Connor said, Peters went down and didn't get up. Looks like he's standing now.
Might have gotten the wind knocked out of him or something like that, because it looked like he got crunched. He leaned forward with his body head first. Looked like he might have gotten crunched in like the shoulder or the rib cage area potentially.
And we're watching the replay. Doesn't look like he's holding a body part or anything, so we'll see what the official word is. And yeah, he probably landed right on top of that ball.
Yeah, that's gonna take the wind out of you.
So he's still talking with the training staff, and with the injury, they'll take this advantage to have a media timeout. So 3:59 left in the game. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Illinois. The Gophers trailing by 8. And we're going to head to break here on Radio K Sports. We'll take this chance to listen to some music from our Radio K DJs. About 2.5 minutes. We'll be back right after this.
Since the stars saw these eyes.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Trask Angel alongside Connor Mockney and our two sideline reporters today, Elias Thomas and Jack Bartlett, who are also taking care of all the graphics and making sure we sound great for everybody listening out there. And we want to thank everybody who's been listening thus far or just tuning in. We are Radio K Sports, part of Radio K, the student radio station here at the University of Minnesota. Go ahead and check out their website, radiok.org. They've got a bunch of great stuff out there, not just sports. Illinois lined up for a 1st and 10 with 3:50 and counting in the game. Under center, Peters will roll out and hand out to Brown, and Brown's going to pick up about 3, and it's not Peters out there. It's number 17, Ryan Johnson.
But Peters looks like he's back in the game now. Just the one play after the wind got knocked out of him.
Minnesota will make a few substitutions, so Peters back in the game, 2nd and 8 on the 44 of Illinois. 3:20 and counting. Illinois has plenty of time to waste here as Minnesota needs a stop on this series. 3:10. Under center is Peters. Peters hands to Brown. Brown hit at the line, but will break free of that tackle and scamper ahead for a couple of yards. And with that, we have a timeout called. And it will be Minnesota's first timeout called at 3:01. So you have third down and about 4, maybe 5. Gopher defense has been outstanding. Third and short, third and long, third medium. They've been really, really good all of the second half. I think you have a lot of confidence that they're going to be able to get a stop here.
I would agree so. I think, Illinois is probably going to run the ball here. If they don't get the first down, that's going to force Minnesota to take yet another timeout and have only one left. And the run game has worked for them. At least earlier in the game it did. But I would assume that they're going to stay on the ground with this and hope that their bell cow back is going to be able to pick up the first down.
3:01 left. Huntington Bank Stadium on their feet. The Minnesota defense looking for one more stop. 3rd and 4 from the 43. 2 receivers out wide left, 1 wide right. Peters under center. Brown 8 yards back. They send a man in motion. Hand to Brown. Brown has a first down. Running to the left side. He hits the seam and is able to get the first down. So the clock will stop until they set the chains. But Illinois is going to be able to burn a lot of time here.
Yeah.
And Minnesota doesn't have very many options left here, as Illinois is going to have this clock almost all the way down, with Minnesota only having 2 timeouts left to use.
Yeah, just good push from the offensive line there, letting Brown find a seam on that 3rd down play.
Fans starting to file out in Minneapolis. Under center is Peters. Peters hands to Brown. Brown cuts it back. Brown tries to sidestep, and he's hit. So a gain of only about 1 and a timeout called by Minnesota. So it's going to be 2nd and long, 2:17 left. This Minnesota defense needs to stand strong for 2 more plays to get the ball back in the hands of Tanner Morgan and the Gopher offense and give them a chance to go down and score to tie this thing back up.
Hopefully with about a minute 30, I would assume. I'd assume that Illinois is going to run on this next play. And then if they don't get a first down here, I would assume that we would have about a minute 30 left before getting the ball back.
2:17 remaining. The Golden Gophers trail the Fighting Illini 6-14. The Golden Gopher total yards for the day 264. Illinois 261. As they have been really stagnant in this second half, but a couple first downs here have put the Gophers in a tough spot. Out of the timeout, Peters is in shotgun. Peters will hand to Brown, but he'll keep it himself. He's going to try to work the edge, and he's hit hard at about the 45, and another timeout by the Golden Gophers, and Peters slow to get up once again. And Peters helped up by a lineman, and he'll head back to the huddle as the Gophers use their last timeout. So 2:12 left in the game. Gophers will get this ball back with over a minute.
If they can get a stop here on 3rd and 5.
If they can get a stop here on 3rd and 5.
Big contingency.
Huntington Bank Stadium, about half in the sun, half shade. Thinned out quite a bit since the start of this game, as the Golden Gophers not scoring until just a few minutes ago in the 4th quarter, as they have missed a field goal, an extra point, a couple failed 4th down conversions, and they find themselves down by 8. Coming out of the timeout, 2:12 remaining, ball on the 45. Right hash, Illinois breaks the huddle. Huntington Bank Stadium on their feet, cheering for this Gopher defense. Peters under center. Peters is going to hand to Brown. Brown trying to work the edge. Brown, second effort. Brown is going to be short of the line to gain. And we got a huge.
Oh, is that a potential fumble here? I know PJ's looking for it.
And forward progress was called before the ball came out. Fans not happy about that, but it will be 4th down. So it's going to be 4th down and about 3. Illinois still has the offense on the field. Now they're going to jog off. Looks like the punt team is huddled up. So 1:30 left, and they only have got 6 to snap here. Minnesota late with their punt team. And Illinois is either going to take a delay of game or they're going to reset this play clock, and they're going to take a delay of game. So 1:20 exactly on the clock. Delay of game called against Illinois. Minnesota will decline. Illinois not only trying to burn clock there, but also try to give their punter a little more room to work with.
Yeah, try to pin Minnesota deep with those 5 extra yards.
Minnesota back to return at the 10. Snap. Minnesota brings some pressure. They won't get there in time. This one's going to bounce at the 2 and be fielded at the 1. Really good punt for Illinois, and a really good job by the coverage team. So 1:12. Gophers have a minute 12 to go 99 yards to put themselves in a position to tie this game. And they will have to go for 2 to tie it up, as the extra point was missed on the last score. Connor, with how well the offense moved the last time down, it's possible for them to do it, but they've got no timeouts, and so Morgan's got to be selective of where he throws this ball.
And you got to be doing some big chunk plays. Last drive they relied a lot on the short passes, but this time you got to start throwing the ball downfield.
3 receivers right, 1 left. Morgan stands in his own end zone with Thomas to his right. Morgan in shotgun, in the pocket, has time, throws down the middle of the field, cut! Across the 35, up to the 38, Gophers have to hustle. 1:04, clock is stopped for the first down. Gophers are set, ready to go, and the ball's in play, and the Gophers are ready to snap. 1 minute, and the Gophers snap and spike the ball.
Interesting. That was probably the best pass we've seen all day from Morgan.
If you have the offense set up and you're ready to go,
Just do it. Just go. Run a play.
you might as well just run your play there.
And not waste it down.
So it's 2nd and 10. Clock is stopped right on the dot at 1 minute. Gophers on their own 38-yard line, left hash. Morgan will be in shotgun. He'll have Thomas to his right. Single receiver left side, 3 up top. 2 safeties deep for Illinois. Morgan's going to check sideline, 4 to snap. Morgan has the ball in the pocket.
Oh,
pressure, doesn't see it coming, and now you're in trouble. Morgan back on the 26-yard line, and we got an injured Illini on the field, so the clock will stop. And they're going to actually spot Morgan up at the 27-yard line. Coming off his backside, didn't even see him coming, and he got smoked. And thankfully, it's an injured Illini and not an injured Tanner Morgan down on the field.
I mean, maybe this spike is going to come back to haunt a little bit. You stop the clock, you let up a free down there, and yeah, now you're faced with 3rd and 21 and 2 downs to work with instead of 3.
Either way, you got to go for a chunk play here, as you've got to go nearly 75 yards for a touchdown, as we will wait for, and the injured Illini is up and moving, and it's Isaiah Gay who was down again. We saw him go down earlier in the game. He came back in, had a couple nice plays, had a penalty called against him for the roughing the passer, and he just went down again. He looks to be walking all right, but his day might be done with only 48 seconds left. Gophers ready to go here, 48 seconds on the clock. Morgan in shotgun, Thomas to his left. 3 receivers up top. Morgan looking to pass. Morgan steps up. Morgan throws over the middle. It's intercepted at the 45, across the 50, and they'll go to about the Gopher 44, and right into the arms of the Illini defense. And the Golden Gophers, unfortunately, are going to fall to Illinois. It was a tough day for Tanner Morgan and the Gopher offense. Gopher defense looked great
Yes, they did.
after the first quarter. But with 38 seconds left, Illinois is going to be able to run a play here and get the win.
I mean, yeah, the Gopher defense obviously started out rough, giving up touchdowns on the first 2 defensive possessions. And then after that, they haven't given up a single point. So a really good effort by them today, and they kept Minnesota in this game. And it was just the offense didn't provide anything.
There's the snap and the kneel down, and that'll be the game. So the Golden Gophers will fall to the Fighting Illini at home. It's 14-6 final score. The Golden Gophers are now 6-3 on the season, 4-2 in the Big Ten, and now have a very difficult road to the top of the Big Ten West. Still possible, but it's going to be a tough challenge over the next month. And we have a pretty empty Huntington Bank Stadium already. Connor, any closing comments?
I mean, you know, this is very negative, but like we talked about, the defense played really well. That's something that they can build on, but something's got to change with this offense. You know, the past, I don't know, few weeks, they've been putting up a whole bunch of points. You know, the past few home games, they put up 40+. They put up 41 against Northwestern a week ago. And so, you know, don't know where that offense went, but, you know, it's got to come back now. You know, you play Iowa next week in Iowa City, and you can't put up an offensive performance like that against, one of your biggest rivals.
And with that, we will sign off here on Radio K Sports. We want to thank everybody who listened in and joined us on the broadcast, and we want to encourage you to tune back in for the Gophers' next home game, which will be against Wisconsin and could potentially be the deciding game for the Big Ten West, so should be exciting when they come back at home. Until then, the Gophers play at Iowa next Saturday. We want to thank you once again for joining us here on Radio K Sports. On behalf of Connor Mockney, Jack Bartlett, Elias Thomas, and myself, Trask Angel, thank you once again, and we will see you in a couple weeks for that game against Wisconsin.